Before we start the podcast, Mike and I are going to show you the winner video from Saturday night in Whitewright, Texas with the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association. So enjoy. Our first guest will be Jim Shandorf tonight from Dorr, Michigan. Then we're going to switch gears. We're going to go to Rock Valley, Iowa, and then we're going to go to Bowling Green, Ohio. So we're going to have a great show for you tonight. But watch this awesome video of the winners video from Saturday night in Whitewright, Texas. Mike, did I turn the sound on? Could you hear sound? Okay, just making sure.
You've got sound.
So there you go. There's your winners from Whitewright, Texas, Saturday night. We got a few minutes before our first guest joins us. Jason Schultz here, Mike Idle. Hope you're all doing well. Cole Lundell's checking in. I think Cole helped out in Rock Valley during the cleanup. If you haven't had a chance yet, head over to the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Facebook page. There's a 9 a.m. video, a 10:30 a.m. video, then a 3 p.m. video. And I got to drive by today. What's going on out there? There's still a lot of stuff to clean up, but there's a big announcement coming out. They are going to have the pull. And we're going to have Dave Nelson and Kurt Koima come on tonight around 8:25. Jim Shandorf's going to be our first guest tonight. But let us know where you're watching from tonight. Let us know where you went pulling. And like Mike likes to ask a lot on social media, what in Bowling Green, David Schultz is coming on tonight as well at 8:45. He is he's the big blue shirt. I think he's got a fancy title, Mike, but I don't remember exactly what it is. So
yeah, he's like the president. He's like the president of the blue shirts, I think.
So it's time to crack open a Coltrane, sugar-free edition. What are you drinking, Michael?
Ginger ale. I'm a big ginger ale fan.
With what's in your ginger ale, Michael?
Ice.
All right, that's fine.
It's a Monday night, Jason. It's a Monday night, man. We got this 4th of July week, buddy. We can't dive into we got to wade into the shallow end here.
Yep, I like it. Kevin Davis, thanks for letting me crash your house last night because Kevin's a promoter. Wayne, Jim Shandorf is in makeup right now. He's in the back room. We're going to let him get prettied up a little bit, and we'll bring him on. But full pull picks. I want to talk about that really quick. We launched real money wagering, betting, cash games, whatever you want to call it, in Toma, and we did it in Whitewright, Texas this past weekend. I won like $70, Mike. I think. For the weekend.
Who would have
somebody cashed $1,700 out on the diesel trucks on Friday night with a $100 bet.
I thought I just went with the mods, and I thought Ty Omer and Don Nelson would just gold for the grandbabies. I thought, who could pick against Ty Omer? Ty Omer feels like the safest pick of all time. But that's what makes it so fun. I mean, you just don't know that. I can't wait to talk. I can't wait to finish writing my article because there's so much fun to talk about that mod class that came out in Texas this week. That was an awesome curveball and a lot of statements made in that mod class. And
then Full Pull did a free live stream from Arcola, Indiana for the 3 sessions. It was live on Facebook and YouTube. They're doing something similar in Dorr, Michigan as well. Again, we're going to talk to Jim here in just a few minutes. So we got Jim for the first 20 minutes, and then we're going to switch gears. We're going to go to Rock Valley. That's July 12th and 13th. Greenwich, Ohio is another event that we're promoting. OSTPA July 6th, but they could not be on tonight. They had something come up, and then we're going to bring on Dave Schultz from Bowling Green. So are you ready to talk to Mr. Radical Red himself, Mike?
Let's do it.
Do you
Let's
remember-
do it. I've got big questions about this Dorr Summer Sizzler. It's got one of the cooler names out there, and I've got some rumors and some ideas I want to pick this man's brain about. So let's see what's going on.
There he is. Jim, tell everybody how to say your name. It's Shandorf, not Shandorf, right?
Perfect.
Okay, I just want to make sure. So we got to get that right. So that's the most important thing. Now we know how to say your name. Mark Coltonheiser's checking in. One of your fellow Superstock friends from the good old days, Jim. Hangs out with Esden all the time. So
okay.
So let's talk. Let's talk about
life.
Speaking
of Esden, I just got a picture today sent to me from Dave Chase from used to do the Ionia Free Fair.
Yes.
And he had a picture of me and him and Esden standing alongside the King's tractor, and thought that was a pretty cool photo that he sent me today. So
it'd be an awesome photo. I want to put your poster up. Thank you. First of all, Jim, thank you for being a promoter. If none of you, I think every puller and every fan should have put at least one event on in their life. And I think it I don't know, how do I say this, Jim? It makes you an honest person.
Agreed. I mean, I've said that. I started pulling back in '88, and in all different levels of pulling, and I've always said every puller needs to help or even to either sponsor an event or help a promoter with an event to get a real life history lesson of what it's like out there to run a show. They'll have a whole different attitude when they go to the next one.
It is. It's so much work. So much work.
Yep. But I enjoy it.
You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it unless you're crazy. I mean, you are a little bit, but
a little bit. Yeah.
What is your why? Like, because I know how much work it is, and Mike knows how much work, and a lot of people watching the podcast right now how much work it is. But what is your why, Jim? Why do you do this?
My why is it's mainly for the community.
Perfect.
Dorr is it's a community of like 6,000 people in a 36 square mile area. And years ago, I used to promote an event on Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
In the end of September, right downtown Dorr. It was the pull yard. I used to store telephone poles there. So I had a tractor pull in the pull yard.
What was it? What'd you call it, Jim?
Just Dorr tractor pull, I think is what it was back then. It was sponsored by Wolverine, and we just had 3 classes. And we started out with that. Then it kind of, we got pushed out by development. So this track where we're at now was put in by a guy named Buster Potter. Buster Potter, many know or don't know him. He passed away a few years ago, but he used to help Greg Hibbets with prohibited semis.
Okay.
And he got Greg started in the trucking business. So Buster always pulled antiques, so he decided, I want my own track. So he put a track in on his property, and I rent the land now from the family, and talked to Amanda and Jeff that own the property and got their blessings to keep trying to improve it every year to carry on Buster's legacy. So this is a dream that he always had, and it's a half a mile across the street from my farm. So
it's just literally your hometown pull, Jim.
Yes, definitely. It's a half mile across the road. So can't get much closer to home than that. So I'm just trying to carry on Buster's legacy of something that he dreamed of and started. And we've increased it a lot from the year. And kind of a funny story how we got started, showing the aerial photo there that my neighbor Ron Snyder took. Started as kind of a, I'm going to say the word screw you deal in 2020. Around here, they kind of had us shut down.
Yep.
So I decided I'm going to have a tractor pull. So I teamed up with John Silsby from Wolverine Pullers. And so they want to have a pull here in Dorr on the 4th of July weekend. And did some investigating. The health department came out, and this sheriff's department came out and told me I'm going to get shut down. I said, why? Well, you can't have more than 100 people. I said, well, I guess I can take care of that because I do have my ways up here. Sometimes I outsmart people. So I come back home and got in the computer and made 10 event signs up, event 1 through 10. So that's 1,000 people. Laminated them, hung them around the barrier of the fence. So I had 10 events going. No way to stop me. And at our driver's meeting, I told everybody, I says, I may come out and get arrested here and go to jail. And Tony sees me right up. Tony goes, Jim, don't worry about it. He says, I'll be right behind you with a checkbook. He says, we'll get you out. So this is how it all started.
That's awesome. No, 20 people still talk about some of their COVID crowds, Jim. It was the polls that did happen had gigantic crowds.
Yes. Yes.
Well, my dad well, Jim, and
Yes.
down there in Iowa at Springville, the health inspector said, Mike, I'm going to come right on that track and stand right in the middle of it if you have this tractor pull. I don't want to get into politics tonight, but man, it's crazy. But
it's true.
I mean, I say all the time, how do we make lemonade out of lemons? And that's what you did. You took some lemons and said, let's make some
basically
lemonade.
outsmarted them because they had 100 people per event. And okay, we got 10 events.
Josh Driscoll's watching on Facebook. He says, so looking forward to Jim's pull over there in Dorr. That's awesome. That aerial photo, I want to show that again to you fans. This is impressive, Jim. Single track, right?
Yes.
Got bleachers on both sides, or no, it looks like you got bleachers on one side.
No, if you leave that shot up, Jason. So on the competitor's vehicle side, you can probably see, if you look at close, there's all white chalk lines laid out. Mm-hmm. I mark out spaces. Everybody has their own parking area designated. They're 22 feet wide, and it starts at a really sharp angle at the very far end, and it works its way back to a straighter angle as you get towards the paved road. And then on the north side there, it's all bleachers I get hauled in from the city of Grand Rapids and Lake Odessa Fair. Then on the south side of the track, where you see like that drive going through, that has all been redone. If you've been seeing my posts, we hauled 4,500 yards of fill in there and brought that up 6 foot in the air and regrassed that all. So that's all like Bowlin Green, basically the chair seating. So we got our north siders and our south siders.
Nice.
Pretty much is how we work that.
Kind of like a Fort Recovery type deal. Fort Recovery's got the famous hill on the other side. So you got your lawn chairs on one side and you've got your bleachers on the other. That can make for a fun environment too in and of itself.
It does. And if you look at the far end down there, we have bouncy houses and stuff for the kids, and the food vendors are down there. Everything, all that stuff is free for the kids to go. And there used to be one where the spectator seating is on the south side, and Tim Ray got completely hammered one night, and he was in the bouncy house and got bouncing so hard in there he tipped the dang thing over with his drink in his hand.
Did he spill his drink?
Spill the drink? Yeah.
But
no, that's good. That's good. Again, if you just joined us, let's go pulling. It's Monday, July 1st. I do not know where June went, but all of a sudden it's July 1st. And hey, Jim, real quick, what's the weather? Have you guys been as wet as we have been in Iowa and Wisconsin? Or
not as wet as you have? We got 1.5 inches of rain a couple nights ago. I did have the track covered with plastic.
Yep, I saw that.
And so we kept the water off the track, and I opened it up, and my cousin Jordan came over, and he graded it for me yesterday, and I worked it up, and I put I think 5,000 gallons of water in it yesterday, another 3,000 today. And it's going to keep maintaining it through the week. We're going to cover it again tomorrow night because there's rain chances for Tuesday. And I think there's a rain chance for Friday night and Saturday morning. So we'll have it covered up and ready to go for Saturday night. Weather depending.
Yep, no, I understand. That's one of your sponsors. I read that post. They donated a roller.
Yeah, Black Gold is my cousin Jody, and that's who I also work for him after I'm done getting my crops put in and side dressing done. I haul asphalt for him.
Nice.
So
and here's and then if Toma for the first time ever put tarps on, Jim, 2 weeks ago, and it saved that event. Saved that event. Now they didn't get the crowds they normally get because there's an 80% chance of rain all day, but they had to pull 4 out of 5 sessions, and if they wouldn't have tarped it, Jim, it would not have happened. So I got a lot of questions, Jim, from promoters and pullers, like, what are they using? These are bunker covers, right, for silence?
Exactly. This came off a big roll that a large dairy has, and this piece here is 65 foot wide by 500 feet long that I cut off. So we bought it by the pound, and there's 900 pounds of plastic there.
Wow.
Is what there is to cover that track.
Our buddy Rob Trowbridge is checking in. Says going to be beautiful weather Saturday. Jimmy and crew are working to make this one of the best pulls in the Midwest. How many big, Jim, if I said to you big pulls in Michigan, what jumps to your mind besides Dorr?
Well, we went to 5 this year because of the numbers. Okay. Usually we have 4 classes, and I went to 5 because I want 45 vehicles. Okay. That's my goal, is to keep it between 40 and 45 vehicles. So I looked at the numbers, what was out there, and Greg Randall and I discussed it. We came up with this scenario of what we're going to have. I mean, as you can see, my parking spaces are limited. I'm limited to about 55 parking spots is about what I have of pre-made parking spots. So I don't think we'll have more than that, but if we do, I'll welcome them. But as far as the big polls in Michigan, the big poll used to be Ionia. Ionia was the place to go. I mean, it was for concerts, it was for polling, everything back in the day. Ionia's poll was the bomb.
That was always the free fare, right, Jim?
Yep. Yeah, $5 parking. Okay. As Larry would say. But no, that was the biggest one. And then the next one that really took off was Hudsonville. Yep. Years ago, when they asked if you could help out with that, and we did. Ted Smulligan and I and a few others got that to a 2-night Grand National with 2 tracks. And I think the bleachers sat about 10,000 people, 9 or 10,000, and they were full. And for some reason, they're not having it back this year because of budget cuts or what. I'm not quite sure, but NTP is not back here this year.
Okay. Jason, you guys debuted.
Are they having a poll? Are they having a poll, Jim? Hudsonville?
Yeah, they're having West Michigan Truck and Tractor Pullers, I think.
Okay.
A local club, I believe, this year. And I do believe they're having the Blowing Minis. Somebody came up with funding for that and got the sled from near Pass's old sled that Jeff Story has now.
Yep.
So that will be there. That is going to be a special class above and beyond what they normally do.
Sure. All right. So Saturday, July 6th, we got about 10 minutes left. Jim, I just want to come make sure Jim's my friend. So we start talking about all this other stuff, but we want to get the word out about his great event. Saturday, July 6th, 6:30 p.m. So this is Region 2, right?
Yep.
Okay. So Region 2. So we got mods, hot farms, pro stock diesel 4x4 trucks, the 3.0s, modified minis, and the light limited super stock tractors. So the light limited, that should be a good class. You have a bunch of those in Michigan.
It is. That was my biggest class last year. I had 10 of them.
Yeah, bunch of them go down to Tucker's deal down there at the Midwest Winter Nationals, and like the Chicken Coop Special and Rygards and those guys, they run hard.
Yeah. Harold Rydall's son, he bought my toter actually, and their tractor and 1 mini rod and 1 hot farm is going to be in the Pulling-Dorr July 4th. But there's a couple things I would like to bring up, Jason, about the poll that I said I would have some new information. Something I'm going to do personally out of my own pocket is a sled reset. If any class has a sled reset after the first hook or second hook, that person's going to get a $100 bill. That's got to come back. I think that's only fair, to do something for that. Also, we have a sponsor that provides the entry fees paid for every competitor.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's cool. North American Diesel Parts. Tim Camps provides the funding for that. So he's been doing that now. This will be his 3rd year, which George Everett came 2 years ago and said he's the longest standing holder of a membership in NTPA. That's the first time he's ever been to a poll and had his membership paid or entry fee paid. That's a lot of years.
Wow.
Awesome.
And then
cool.
One more thing we're doing different this year, and I'm not going to say what it is, but we got a special one-of-a-kind award for first place in every class. It's something that sat and thought about what to do, something special that ain't just like a plaque or a trophy or whatever, something that somebody can use. That's all I'm going to say on that. And I just hope everybody loves that. And also on prize monies, State Klinkenberg, if everybody knows him or not from way back, the Bad Habit Unlimited, he is throwing in $3,500 to the top 3 of the mod class. 2,000 for first, 1,000 for second, 500 for third.
Heck
Does he go back to his roots? And we're doing the same thing for the rest of the classes, but a smaller amount. 200 for first, 100 for second, 50 for third in cash on top of that to every other class out there.
Wow.
So
that's awesome.
We try to make it a destination that people want to come pull here. You know,
Yep.
I know it's like. I know I'm running out of time, Jason, but I know what it's.
Take your time.
I know what it's like to go to an event and not be appreciated. And I don't mean this disrespectfully at all, but we're in the entertainment business as pullers, and the track is our stage. Number one, if our stage is not a good stage in country music or whatever else, Jellyfish or Reba McEntire, whoever can come out and sing, and they can sound like crap, but number one, you focus on your stage and your surroundings and then go out from there. So that's what my main focus is, then taking care of the competitors when they're at my event, or our event, I should say, because my wife Lisa is a very large part of this, even though I don't recognize her enough because she just is going to kick me in the leg here pretty quick. But anything you got for me, Jason?
No, we got a couple minutes left. We're going to bring on the Rock Valley, Iowa guys next. They just had that historic, horrible flooding.
Horrific.
Yes.
That's the word. Horrific.
You called jellyfish jelly roll, so I thought that was jelly roll. That was funny.
I've got a good chuckle. I like it better.
Yeah, I'm going to call them jellyfish.
Jellyfish.
No, it's been fun watching you, Jim. When you came to one of our Richland Center events back in 2015, when Dad and Max, we brought out Dad's Diesel Super, it meant a lot to me that you were there. And I know you got the promoter brain because we had some good talks there that day, and it was excited to see you do this. I love how you use social. I love how you're talking about what's going on, because it doesn't need to be fancy. You just need to let your fans know and your pullers know that you're trying hard, and they support that. So
I'm going to talk about your dad for 1 second. I got a funny story about him.
Please do.
But he had blackjack at Charlotte Fair, and your dad could not get that thing to light. You know, you remember that story or not, or what was going on?
But it's great.
It was Mike was there and he couldn't get to run, and Max says, "You're not getting on the blah 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 blah." Just yelling at your dad. And your dad was all nervous, and Max goes to him, "You care if Jim gives it a try and show you how it's done?" "I don't care. They ain't gonna light. I can guarantee you that." So I go out, get on it after the class was over. They let us hook right away at that time. I hopped on it, and she lit so easy, came right up and went back and actually won the class. If it would have been in a realistic thing, your dad had his tail between his legs. It was so funny. I don't think he's ever snuffed a tractor since then.
No, he did it Friday night in White Wright, Texas. So.
He did. He did, huh?
He did. And then I bought that tractor from my dad. I mean, like, Dad, you did this for me. You go pull it. I'm going to run Outlaw TV, and I'm going to work with full pull, and my dog's going to bark during my podcast. And so he said, "Well, I just don't want to drive it Saturday night. Friday night, just couldn't get it quite lit, and I just nerves and stuff like that." And Blade Graves were there, and Blade Graves really wanted us to run, and obviously we did too. And then I said, "I'm going to drive it. It's my tractor. I'm driving the dang thing." Well, at 5:30, we went to start it, and we got an aircraft starter on there like the mods guys. And Doug Meisinger's my mechanic, and he reached down there and cranked it, and the dang thing started on fire. He shorted out and started smoking. So I just kind of raised my hands and said, "We're done." Well, next thing you know, Cameron Neves comes over with the starter, and Stan and Steve Blagrave run under there. Meisinger's laying under the tractor, and we get it running, right? So I'm like, yes. I've never sat in that tractor, guys. Started that tractor, nothing. And it's got the middle clutch, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
My 401, you just throttled it around and it just drove around. Well, diesel super stocks, you have to take about 2,500 RPMs, and you have to use the clutch to let it to move them around. Jim knows this. I know this now. So I killed my tractor right away. I just started letting out the clutch and because I didn't have enough RPMs. So we started it again, and there's in Whitewright, the track's up here, guys, and you got to drive up this hill. Well, I killed it again, and then the starter, I have a short in there somewhere. And then the starter wouldn't turn over again. So I didn't even hook it to the sled. So my dad's ahead of me.
So to be fair, your dad's 6.25 feet was the Schultz winning distance of the weekend.
I said to my dad, I paid to drink this tractor all the way to Texas, and we went 6 feet and 2 hooks. I said that's. And I bought it.
Thank goodness you're selling mortgages, Jason.
Yeah, I need rates to go down a little bit so I can put the 4 turbo on it. So it's all good. So, well, friends, Jim Shandorf, it's great to see you, buddy. Everybody, please head to Dorr, Michigan this Saturday, July 6th. Starts at 6:30 p.m. Region 3 NTPA mods, hot fards, pro stocks, modified minis, and light limited super stocks. $20 to get in, 7 under free. Jim's a good dude, great promoter, loves pulling. He's a puller. He knows what it takes, and he's going to put on a great show for all you fans. So
coolers are welcome. I saw that. Coolers are welcome. That's always a big selling point too. Jim, thank you so much.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
See you, Jim. All right. We're going to put Jim back in the green room. Dave Nelson, Kurt Koimer are in the makeup room right now. Mike Idle. One of them needs makeup more than the other. That's if you know what I'm going to say. So, but this is pretty special. What we're going to talk about next.
It's already broke the internet. My Facebook. If you get on Facebook, if I guarantee you, my Facebook or your Facebook right now, if you get on it, you can scroll for 10 shares, and this is going to be the only thing you see. I almost guarantee if you brought your phone out right now and scrolled up, this would be the only thing you saw for the first 15 posts.
Yeah, it's clearly one of the biggest polls in Iowa and Midwest. Mike, it's one of those polls, destination polls that you and I talk about a lot, where you don't have to say the state. Everybody knows that Rock Valley is in Iowa. I'm switching over to put this on the Outlaw Facebook page right now, so give me 1 second.
Yep.
I got a promo video to play, and then we're going to bring on Dave Nelson, Executive Vice President of the Outlaws. Kurt Koimer, Adam Sandler's twin brother, is going to join us. Also, he's like the president of the Rock Valley Pullers, and it was funny because Dave said today, "Hey, can we bring Kurt on with me?" I said, "I don't like Kurt," and then Kurt sent me this penguin walks up and smacks another penguin on the back of the head. It was a funny gif. So I got a giggle out of that. So I got a great video, but please pay attention. Something very special happened at Thunder in the Valley 2024 that you're not going to want to miss. And we're going to make the live announcement here on Let's Grow Pulling. I got a cool video. We'll be back in 1 minute. Watch this awesome video. And I'm bringing on Dave and Kurt.
Get ready for Thunder in the Valley in Rock Valley, Iowa. Experience the live action on Friday, July 12th and Saturday, July 13th with 3 powerful sessions. Friday session starts at 6:30 with 2 sessions on Saturday at noon and 6 p.m. Visit rockvalleypull.com and get ready for the roar of Thunder in the Valley. Get ready for Thunder in the Valley in Rock Valley, Iowa. Experience the live action on Friday, July 12th and Saturday, July 13th with 3 powerful sessions. Friday session starts at 6:30 with 2 sessions on Saturday at noon and 6 p.m. Visit rockvalleypull.com and get ready for the roar of Thunder in the
Valley. Dave, Kurt, how are you guys tonight?
We are well.
Very good.
And just for the record, it was Kurt's makeup that took so long. That's why it took us so long to get out here. It wasn't mine. It was Kurt's.
Dave, this is your stage. Just take it and run with it. And Kurt sent me some pictures and videos. I'll put those up on the screen. If you want me to share the press release over, I can do that as well. Kurt Koimer, thanks for being. I was in your hometown at 1 o'clock today, and I dropped off the TV trailer and headed back to Wisconsin. But I didn't have time to stop by and see you, but what you guys were going through and what I saw today was insane. I can't imagine the flooding and the lives changed, and I don't want to get all goofy and emotional, so I just want to talk about the tractor pull. But Dave, take over, my man.
There's not much to there's not too many words to explain what Rock Valley has gone through other than just simply tears. I mean, it happened a week ago this past Friday night, Saturday, and I got into town this past Friday night to help on Saturday's event. And you can't look at a picture and feel it. You have to see the people standing outside their houses, and their foundations are gone. Their houses are literally gone. All their possessions are gone. To where, I mean, just the ride through town was horrific, as you said, and you can't put it into words. But what's neat is the Outlaw family. Let's back up. Let's not even talk the Outlaw family. Let's talk about this whole last week. The people of Rock Valley, the farmers in the area, businesses from other towns have poured into Rock Valley and cleaned that town up. I mean, it happened Saturday. Am I right, Kurt? Saturday was the worst morning. And by Wednesday, Thursday, you could drive through town and you could see damage, but you could not see much left of the cleanup because the town had already been cleaned up. So the people of Rock Valley have gone through something that they never could have imagined they've gone through. And then you bring us this last Saturday, and we had over 80 some volunteers. I talked to everybody, introduced myself to people I didn't know, and I figure about a third of them were just Rock Valley tractor pulling fans. They have no link to it other than being a fan of Rock Valley. They were driving for 3 and 4 hours, are some of the long ones I heard, coming to help clean up the track. And we'll see pictures of that here in a minute. But 80 some volunteers. When we were out there Friday night with the Rock Valley Tractor Pull board committee, we were like, oh, we're going to start tomorrow. It may take Monday and Tuesday. We don't even know if this pull can happen. I mean, the Daubers were pretty down on Friday night looking at the arena and looking at the track. And I'll say we started at 9 o'clock on Saturday. I was thinking I'd kind of have to be up in the parking area to kind of give people ideas of, okay, you go here, you go there. But I stayed down on a skid loader and stayed down working. And people just got out of their cars, grabbed pitchforks, and just started walking down and working. There was no direction or leadership needed at all. And I would say we started at 9. By noon, it was very clear that a tractor pull could happen there in 2 weeks. If the city of Rock Valley and the tractor pull members felt they could make it happen on their end. And as you all seen on Facebook tonight, there's some big news, but Kurt, this is where you kind of take over and share what you've been through and share your thoughts, man.
Real quick, guys, let me share. I'm going to show kind of the timeline. Kurt sent me, or Dave, you sent me some videos when I was down in Whitewright. I just whipped them together on my phone quick. We didn't get a chance to make a nice video like we normally do, but it kind of shows you a timeline, and then Kurt will let you take over. So,
watch this video. This video will show the whole world of what happened on this last week in Rock Valley.
Logan, be quiet. There's fireworks going on, and my dog loves fireworks.
Kurt, if you want to narrate this, go ahead, man.
This is on the east side of the track, east side on the south end. The water probably 4 to 5 feet.
Mr. Nelson. I got work here today, but I'll be right back.
No, Kurt, you can talk now. It was really loud. Sorry.
No, that's all right. It's unbelievable. That's the only words I can describe what happened here and happened in the entire town. I would quote and say ground zero all weekend. Department for 22 years. So I went through the 14 flood and the 24 flood. It's beyond. Yeah. We went over the crest, over the record by 5. I don't know what it was, 5.5 feet. You know, when you're on the fire department, you're on EMS, and what we did, there's no training for. When you have half the firemen that have lost their houses completely, and nobody cared about their houses until all the rescues were complete. I think the last rescue was made about 8:30 Saturday night. And the first rescue, I was part of the first rescue, and that was at 1:30 Saturday morning. So, yeah, it was basically 18 hours of solid rescuing between the fire department and we had the urban search and rescue out of Sioux City, or the Iowa, I can't remember what they're exactly called. They came in at about 5:30 Saturday morning with equipment that's beyond belief. And one of our incident command guys had told them guys, I'll tell you a little story. They had told them guys that they're reaching out to the National Guard to get the helicopter. And those urban search and rescue guys told him that don't worry about it. We'll have this town cleaned up in an hour and a half. So they went out to their first rescue, which they had to go about an hour or about a mile upriver. And then they came down to get to the guy's house. This was on the north side of Rock Valley, just outside of town. Basically, he lived on the river. So anyway, they got him out, and they come back to the incident command center where the IC was stationed. And the first words the guy says, "You get that helicopter here now." And when hearing that, it's like, you guys are the pros. And it made us think like, we really didn't know what we were doing, but we had no choice. And after, I suppose, 10:30 Saturday morning, me and 4 firemen stopped where they were staged at and talked to them. And the captain, he had been on for 24 years. I think he had been the leader of that group. And they have had 18 calls. And I asked them, I says, where do we rank as far as where do you see this whole debacle? He says, there ain't a close second. And so, that, kind of hit us all. Like, we're lucky that the fatalities weren't more. It could have easily been 40 or 50. I mean, we lost too many already. We lost one guy, and we didn't want to lose any. But considering the circumstances, considering they blew the sirens during the night, people didn't hear the sirens, people on their roofs, handing babies into your boat. I mean, you just can't explain it. It's just.
So, Kurt, did a levee break? What actually happened? What caused that town to flood like that?
Just the stars aligned perfectly. We have that creek that goes through the tractor pull grounds. Creek flows north. We had 4 to 5 inches of rain up that creek for about, I think that creek drains maybe 15 miles, 12 miles. Well, that all came down, and the rain had been pouring up north for the last day and a half. There was areas that Rock River had to drain that had 9 to 11 inches of rain. So that Creamery Creek hit that Rock River, and that Rock River was already too high. So it everything just lined up perfectly for a complete disaster. I mean, I think like I said, that levee would have had to been another 6, probably 10 foot big. We built about 4,500 feet of berm with sandbags. It was storming. I mean, the people wouldn't give up. We had probably had on that dike when we were doing that, we probably had 50 people on that dike, and it was thundering. There was a tornado warning 15 miles away from us, but they were bound and determined to get that dike down. But
it's insane. So during all this, how do you think of having a truck and tractor pull, right? That was the whole thing. And, Dave started talking to you and the Rock Valley Pullers, and, then they had the cleanup day. And then today you guys made the decision that we're moving forward. Can we talk about that a little bit and what's going to be special about this and how we can raise some money to give back to the people that have been given to us for so many years? Dave, if you could kind of run with that part of this, please.
Yeah. So what we're doing is kind of a 2-pronged approach from the standpoint of, we still wanted to make this, if we could do anything in our power for Outlaw to help Rock Valley make this happen, we wanted to do that. And so, Kurt, why don't you kind of talk about the thoughts that you guys as a board put into this? Obviously, after seeing Saturday's cleanup, what were some of the special things that you guys had to, be careful of? Your town is wounded, it is hurt. There's how many hundreds of people without homes right now in Rock Valley. So how did you guys go about handling this and coming to the conclusion that we are going to go ahead and do this, Kurt?
Our feelings were so up and down. We one day we'd say we had to do, my first initial the rewind a week to Monday, I made the walk through the tractor pull grounds at about 8:30 Monday morning. And I said, no way are we, I mean, we just want to get this out of our head. And then, yeah, started getting the calls from Dave, started getting the calls from the outsiders. And then we started having a little bit of hope. And then Saturday night hit and this place was cleaned up and everybody's like, wow. And then we started having outsiders reach out to us and say, you know, you guys have a very established, well-known pull there that draws in a lot of outsiders. You have to try to move forward if at all possible. And yeah, we said the only way we're doing it is approaching it as big a fundraiser as we possibly can make it out to be. We're hoping that the no gate fee leads to bigger and better things, which you see at a lot of benefits. Like I said, it was a lot of emotional decisions and a lot of help from the city leaders, outside people of Rock Valley. I mean, we just did not want to step on toes of the Rock Valley residents, especially the ones who had damage and lost their homes. Dave did a great job of handling Saturday by not having people from in town. I don't know if we had anybody from in town helping besides committee guys.
One thing David said on the phone when I spoke to him earlier this week, and I thought these words put it so perfectly: this town is going to need something positive to celebrate. This town is going to need a respite. You know, obviously this is so much bigger than truck and tractor pulling, but how much did that go into the decision as well? Having something to rally behind, having a unified, positive message for the community. Is the tractor pull that message? The tractor pull that positivity? And did you guys want to do it in that regard, so to speak?
Yeah, I would say, you know, just bringing any sign of normalcy back, whatever the new, obviously the normal's not going to be the normal, but, you know, giving people a break and coming together as a community and unifying for one common goal, to bring relief to these people that are suffering, because it is. I took Dave through what I call ground zero Friday night, and I don't think he could believe what he saw until you actually see it.
So these are some of the numbers that I've gotten from Kurt Van Beek of there's 600 homes affected with floodwaters in the basements. 600 homes with water in the basement. 180 homes with floodwaters that made it all the way from the basement to the second floor. 180 houses with water clear up to the second floor. 75 retail businesses had water and will have to rebuild. Two manufacturing plants and a cement plant had major damage. 1,500 people with no place to live and lost everything. How many tons of garbage have they hauled out, Kurt, from the?
As of, I think Friday night, they had hauled out 3,820 tons.
Say that again.
3,820 tons was as of Friday night.
Yep. Both the Christian and public school had major damage and will open late this fall, if at all. Over 1,300 kids who don't know where they're going to go to school this fall. Seniors will more than likely not graduate from the school they attended their whole life. 60% of the staff at both schools were affected by water damage to their homes. So that's just giving you a little bit of an idea of the extremity of damage of Rock Valley. So our intent, Jason, is this is going to be a free will donation at the gate. So it's going to be free admission. Quite honestly, we're expecting a record crowd. That Rock Valley's already had record crowds every year, to where we're thinking about more seating, more standing room, and quite honestly, just security to help manage the people. And so we feel the normal fans are going to come, the 13 to 15,000 fans that come every year. I mean, what's the number that we're going to see this next year? So we're looking at just helping manage the crowd, helping manage it to where it's a safe tractor pull, asking for a free will donation. So a lot of this is Rock Valley Pullers Committee stepping out on faith, saying, we're going to do this for our town. We know we're going to cover some of our expenses, but we don't know if we're going to cover all of our expenses. But on top of that, we're going to make this 100% donation back to our city and the people and the flood victims. And so that's the whole intent there. So we're asking fans to come early, come with a grateful heart. If you can give, I know times are tough with inflation and that, but if you took a stroll through Rock Valley, you wouldn't really think too much about that one bag of groceries at the grocery store costing you $50.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my wife just went to Hy-Vee yesterday. One bag, it was $50. But these people of Rock Valley need our help as fans and as pullers. So as you fans can come to the Rock Valley Tractor Pull on Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night. Saturday night's going to be probably the big grand finale of making some presentations. And then from an Outlaw standpoint, Outlaw has a really big footprint from down to Texas, clear up to Rock Valley, Iowa, clear out in western Nebraska, clear across to Iowa, down in Missouri, to where a lot of our national sponsors and their network of friends and other companies are asking, how can we help? How can we donate to Rock Valley and the communities of Northwest Iowa? So we've got pullers asking, can I just give all my purse if I'm going to win? Any of my purse, I'm going to leave it in Rock Valley. And we've already got people writing checks. We've got a 501c3 already set up, a nonprofit for this Rock Valley Tractor Pull, for the everything collected to be donated back to Rock Valley and the Northwest Iowa communities and the people that lost things. This isn't just going to go into a big fund and get lost. It's going to be handed to families specifically. And so fans, pullers, please come and support Rock Valley. If you're from Rock Valley and you're one of the people that lost your home, God bless you and God be with you. Rock Valley is going to rebuild because of the type of town Rock Valley is, and you guys will succeed. And so we're here to help you. We're here to give back, and we're going to do everything of, let's just call it 20,000 people in town.
Yes.
In just 2 weekends from now, we're coming to support your town. We're coming to buy gas in your town. We're coming to buy a pizza uptown, some bags of ice uptown, to
beer.
spend money on burgers. Well, Jason's going to buy beer.
Beer. Beer.
Yep.
Well,
But we're going to come
Dave.
support your town. You're hurting, but we're coming to support you.
And then is there a website? I know I've seen some text messages. Do we have something set up yet, Dave?
Yes. I mean, so we've got a nonprofit set up, but let us get out tomorrow with you. We will have a website set up to go specifically to the Tractor Pull, so that everything coming through the Tractor Pull at Rock Valley can get earmarked to go back into the city to the flood victims. So Todd, watch Facebook tomorrow. We'll have it up. So this has all just been a whirlwind getting it together. And
Dave, you've been a stud through all of this. In the comments right now, fans, I have a link to the Thunder in the Valley Facebook page, and that's where we're live on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter right now on different platforms. But that's really where the big Facebook stuff goes to for Thunder in the Valley, Rock Valley. Also, tomorrow there's going to be an announcement coming out, but Full Pull Live is going to be working together with Outlaw Pulling TV to make this a special live stream for those of you that can't be there. All the money from your subscriptions for this particular event will get donated also to this as well. Kurt Van Beek and the owners of Full Pull, Chase Richardson and his team, are working on this right now. I was on a call with them this afternoon. They're ironing out all the details, but it's going to be something special. If we get 20,000 people in town, Dave, and another, I don't want to make a number on the live stream, but it could be awesome. And this is, we talked earlier, making lemons out of lemonade, or make some lemonade out of some lemons. And the lemons that you guys were dealt, Kurt, that I can't imagine. I mean, it's, when I saw that today and I rolled into town, and I was a week late, you know what I mean? But you could see where the water levels have been. And when I looked to where normally we park our hauler, and I saw 100-foot piles of debris, Kurt Coinma, I didn't know what to do. I mean, that is the first time in my life I didn't even take a picture of it, Kurt. Like, because I didn't know if you guys were still having it. Because Van Beek was like, we don't know. They're meeting right now. As soon as I know, I'll call it. And then the awesome press release came out, because I really want to talk about it tonight on the podcast. We got hundreds of people watching right now, and it's just a great way to get the word out there. So my heart's out to you, Kurt, and everybody. Dave, thank you for stepping up and organizing that Saturday. It was so cool, the videos that were posted, to show all the people. There was young kids, there was old people, and it was, like you said, Dave, or whoever made that post, you're not coming to run a skid steer. You're coming to run a pitchfork and a shovel, like legit manual labor. That was a lot of work for everybody. So
yeah, so much unselfish, or I mean, down farmers, the payloaders that went, I mean, the countless payloaders that were out Friday night rescuing people. A guy driving a great big 821 case payloader, that is a monstrous payloader, probably a 40,000 pound loader. And he was on a street and the river moved him, slid him down the road 4 or 5 feet. I got on a John Deere sprayer, a $700,000 John Deere sprayer, and he was pushing water with the front of his sprayer. The fan was, and he didn't even think nothing of it. And he was, because the payloaders couldn't get around, we couldn't hardly get the boat around. So then they started using them sprayers. And
that's that. I got to upload that video you sent me. Keep talking. Sorry.
But anyway, I mean, they didn't even think twice. It's like, yeah, probably have insurance on something like that. But we've had a couple payloaders at our shop already that are wrecked from rescuing people, but it never fazed these people. The countless selfless acts are just unbelievable.
No, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So normally I don't know what to say, Nelson. Right now I don't know what to say, buddy. So
let's end. Are we kind of done with Rock Valley? Are we kind of wrapping this up?
Yeah, I'd like to wrap it up and let you guys continue on with your evening. So
since for one time we have Jason speechless,
Yeah.
let's just go from the standpoint of remembering this night for that, but also, I mean, fans, come to Rock Valley in a week and a half from now, July 12th and 13th. If you're a fan, come watch. If you're a fan that can't get there, get a subscription for Rock Valley on outlawpolling.tv, because that money is being donated as well. And then pollers, bring your crews, come. Let's have an awesome weekend celebrating the town of Rock Valley. It's not celebrating the loss, but it's celebrating the town of Rock Valley and giving back to them. They've given us so much over the years. 21 years they've had a poll.
Yep.
Let's go give back to Rock Valley and help our fellow men out there. So
yeah, just another picture there of that's the poll site and the track, and yes,
Yep.
it's amazing what's happening. So Kurt, I know there's, and I'll let you guys go in a second. I know there was a lot of like, how can you think of even having a tractor pull? But right away, my whole idea was, I know a lot of us were talking. It was just like, this can rally a community. And like Mike, you use fancy words because you're a teacher, but give somebody something, not to think about that they lost their house for a couple of days. You know what I mean? It doesn't make it go away, but it sure does make you, because Kurt, Koima, that tractor pull is the biggest thing that happens in that town every year, isn't it? I don't know if you guys have any other celebrations or county fairs that I don't know about, but Thunder in the Valley is the big deal in town, Koima.
Yeah, there's nothing bigger. The biggest, probably one of the biggest events in the county, actually. And the draw it has for the outside is people drive hundreds of miles to see it. So we just want to give hope. That's what we're after. Give hope to these people that have lost everything. There are a lot of people that care.
Yep. So, well, thanks for coming on tonight, Dave. Dave Nelson, Executive Vice President of the Outlaws. Kurt Koima, resident of Rock Valley Fire Department member. He's Kurt's awesome. He's a rock star, and he cares about his community more than anybody. And any of you can see on Kurt's face how tired he is. He probably hasn't slept in 2 weeks. And when I talked to Kurt Van Beek, I've never heard him that shaken up in my life. That guy's my solid rock. Van Beek is every day, and for him to be shaken up like that is just amazing. And then I saw it with my own eyes today when we dropped off the TV trailer. So, Koima, we love you. We're going to support you. We're going to promote the crap out of this for you, and we're going to make Rock Valley proud of what you guys have done. So, thank you for giving us this, because without Rock Valley, we were all going to kind of be bummed out. So, thank you, Koima.
Yeah, guys.
Have a good night, buddy.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Dave, real quick.
Yep.
Thank you for jumping in and organizing all of this and keeping, Kurt Van Beek, the owner of the Outlaws, lives in Rock Valley, and he didn't care about anything other than his family. I mean, his brother, his son lost homes. I mean, it got everybody. It got everybody in that town. So
we will pull them through it. We have, as an outlaw staff, we have rallied around Taylor and Kurt, and just loved on them and taken everything off their plate so they can be with their families and help their families. But yet look at the successful event that you guys put on down at Whitewright that last weekend. So that's Outlaw Family, that's Outlaw Nation, that's Team Outlaw, and that's just not the staff, that's the pullers, that's the fans and the promoters. So
awesome, Dave.
Thank you for
thank you for everything, Dave, and you have a good night. We'll talk soon.
See you. Bye.
All right,
Thank you.
Dave Nelson, everybody, Executive Vice President of the Outlaws, talking about Rock Valley. If you want to see some of the historic flooding, what happened, just Google Rock Valley, Iowa flooding, and you'll see. I mean, they were literally Saturday morning rescuing people off the roofs of their houses. So that's how serious it is. And it is one of the biggest pools in Iowa, and they're still having it with free admission. Okay, but they're going to have donations there, so please don't be stingy and help out, because all the money is going to go back to them. And then we're going to do some stuff with the live stream as well with full pool, and with all the money from that going back to that. And I know Kurt's going to throw in some extra money from Outlaw TV as well. So we're going to switch gears. We're going to go back to NTPA. We started the podcast tonight. We're back live on the NTPA Facebook page. I try to move it around, Mike, to different. We're always live on Beer Money.
Oh yeah.
We're on the Outlaw page, but we had Jim Shandorf, promoter of Dorr, Michigan, this Saturday, July 6th, and then we got Dave Schultz, the El Presidente of the Northwest Ohio Tractor Pulling Association, coming up.
Different Schultz family, different Schultz clan.
I wish I could say I wish I was related to this guy. That'd be pretty cool. How are you, Dave?
Hey, not too bad. Man, what the story behind Rock Valley, that is just unreal. That is just unreal.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I saw it today, guys. I was in Whitewright, Texas yesterday, and we dropped off the TV trailer in Rock Valley today. And I don't know. It's just, like I said, for me, I don't know what to say in situations like that. I'm sorry. What can I do? I don't know. It was insane. But life goes on, and we got to figure it out. And everybody will rally. The Pulling family rallies. Dave, you've seen it with your Make-A-Wish stuff now for years. How much money's been raised? With Larry Kester's original dream to do the Make-A-Wish stuff and things like that. We try to have you on at least once a month to talk about Bowling Green, the biggest pool in the world. And it's how many days we got to go to the counter? It's on your website, right?
Yeah.
It's on the website, but I've got it here. 44 days, 21 hours, 33 minutes, and 35 seconds, to be exact.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up the counter right now. Pulltown.com, everybody. Dave Schultz, president of the Northwest Ohio Truck and Tractor Pulling. What's that stand? NWOTPA, I think it stands for.
Northwest Ohio Tractor Pullers Association.
So last time we had you on, we unveiled Behind the Hook season 3. That was super cool with Toledo Air Media, and that was neat. But now we got to start talking about the poll, because I don't know where June went, Dave Schultz, but it's gone.
Yeah, and in July will be going faster than what June went away. So, I hate to wish summer away, because I can't wait for Bowling Green to get here, but I'm going to take as much time as I can get, because, all of the blue shirts are going to be working hard the next 44 days to make sure we're ready to go. Doing a lot of improvements around the fairgrounds right now. So putting in a couple new roads out in the campground, working on our Wi-Fi for our sponsors and our vendors, and just getting a lot of things squared around. One of the big things for the pullers, they know the pull-off scale after they pull. We're taking all that old scale out, redoing that whole area. So going to be definitely nice not to have that hill after you come off the scale.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I put some overlays together I just want to kind of go through all this with you, Dave, because really just want to let everybody know about BG, Bowling Green, what's going on, just some of the basic stuff, the different sessions and stuff like that. Session 1 starts Thursday night at 7 o'clock. 2 tracks always at Bowling Green, everybody. 4-wheel drive trucks. Light Unlimiteds, 2-wheelers, Unlimiteds, and the Light Supers. There's your ticket. This is all off the website at pulltown.com, everybody. But we just did some screenshots to put this up here tonight for you. Veterans Day, so free admission for all active military. That's for session 1, right, Dave?
Correct.
Okay. Tickets 10 and under free, adults are 25. Session 2, super stock diesel tractors, super stock diesel 4-wheel drive trucks, minis, light unlimited, super farms. Again, there's your tickets. Session 3, Friday night at 7 p.m. We're going to run mods, pro stock, super semi, super stock open, 4-wheel drive trucks. Session 4 is going to be Saturday at noon. Mods, super farm tractors, 2-wheel drive trucks, super stock open, light super stocks. And then session 5, 6:30 p.m. super stock diesel tractors, pro stocks, modified minis, unlimiteds, super stock diesels, and super semis. I would say if there's been one story so far of the NTPA Grand National season, Dave, it's been rain. What's the weather been like in Bowling Green? And do you guys have a tarp for your track?
we do not have a tarp. And I've made this comment that
has rain been. I mean, there are some events like Toma, Dave, and it's not. I love the Schreiers and the Keels. We help them with all their social media, but it rains every year at Toma. I mean, I think it's the time of the year. We're rolling into summer. We have that humidity. Storms start firing up. But there are some polls, that just is Bowling Green one of those, Dave, or have you been able to knock the rain bug or?
Well, no, actually the last couple of years we've had at least one session that has gotten hit by rain, but we have. I'm knocking on my wooden desk here. We have not had to cancel. Our track crew, the last couple of years when we have had rain, it's not can we go pulling? It's when can we go pulling? I mean, if it stops raining, our track crew has been able to turn the tracks around, and I know a bunch of them keep saying, "Man, you got to back off." With the expectations, and I says, absolutely not. You guys are the best out there, and they've been able to, as long as it stops raining, they've been able to put together a pulling track that's actually worked really well. So last year we lost Thursday. We started with an hour and a half delay. That was it, and it was a heavy downpour. So it's just rain is. I mean, fortunately, we're August. Usually it's drier, and I'm praying that it dries out at least that third weekend in August. But we've talked about doing tarps in the past, and our track crew seems to think they can turn it around and make a pulling track as long as it stops raining. Because even if it stops rain, if it doesn't stop raining, even with tarps, you're not gonna try to build a track.
Oh yeah, no, agreed. And that's one thing. Like for Toma, they got lucky, Dave. It didn't rain at full time, right? But it did rain in between sessions, and that's where the tarp saved it. Now Bowling Green, a lot of concrete pavement. The pullers can get around. That saved also. They have their big pit area with all that asphalt back there. So once we got the pullers in there, we're still able to have it. But it does hurt your crowd, Dave, and that's what pays the bills. There was 80% chance of rain Friday and Saturday, and I know you were watching the live stream and different things like that. And it's as you sit there, that's got to make you just want to throw up on site a little bit as a promoter, Dave.
Oh yeah. And just like this last weekend, I was at Summit Motorsports Park for the drag races on Saturday, and it poured Saturday afternoon. And fortunately, it stopped raining. 2 hours later, they were pulling. 2 hours seems to be the magic number of almost any motorsports. If it stops raining, they can get something going. And I was walking around with a buddy of mine, and we were both saying, this just makes you sick. All the work that goes into putting on a pull or a drag race or a stock car race, whatever it is, all that work, and Mother Nature can just take it right off the plate. And it just, every time I see an event, I just pray that they have good weather. I mean, you just got to make sure that, you try to do everything you can, that if you do get weather, you have the equipment there to make sure, you're able to turn the tracks around, turn the grounds around to make sure it's going to work.
Who was that new sponsor you picked up, that tire sponsor that you guys picked up this year? I forgot. You told me and I forgot. I'm sorry.
It's Maxim Tire.
Okay.
They don't do pulling tires, but they do agricultural tires. They're an OEM tire for Case IH. They do a lot of big earth moving type tires. They came to us and they said, they wanted to get their product out to the audience of agriculture, and we love having them on. They've been a great sponsor so far, and it was a 1 year deal with options to continue on, and they're looking forward to coming to Bowling Green to see what it's all about, because they hadn't been here before, so looking forward to seeing them, and hopefully it'll be a many-year deal.
So if you haven't been to Bowling Green and you wanted to say, what is Bowling Green? This picture is my favorite picture of all time. This gives me goosebumps every time I see it, because this is what every promoter dreams about. I mean, if you talk to any promoter, you'll hear the promoter, I want to be the next Bowling Green, and I don't know what that means. I know Dave likes competition. Hey, how can we, what I love about these big promoters like the Chapel Hills, I see the Chapel Hill guys at Hutchinson. I see Dave at other events. I see Dave at Louisville. I see Dave at PRI. always pushing yourself to take it to the next level. And that's what the sport deserves, continue to grow with all of this. It's pretty exciting. Pretty exciting.
Well, and every one of the promoters I talk to, they get their event done, and they don't sit there and go, okay, we do great. And that's all they talk about, to themselves all year is, oh, how great they did. It's okay. Now what do we need to do to improve? I mean, every time I ever see any of them, talk to any of them, that's the biggest thing is, we're always looking to what went well and what do we need to do to make next year even better yet.
I love it. This is a great comment here. Andy Leonard's watching on YouTube, bringing his 87-year-old dad with him to Bowling Green. He's always wanted to go. So he's 87 years old. He's never made it to Bowling Green. He went to Louisville for the first 25 years, but never made it that far north. So Andy Leonard, love you, bro.
Oh, that's great. Can't wait to see you there.
That's what it's all about. I feel like Bowling Green is more than a truck and tractor pull. I mean, we joke about it that you had a party you had a tractor pull and a party broke out, Dave. Do you know what made that happen? I mean, or was there a year like, wow, it was at the campground? I mean, Dave, what makes Bowling Green so special? And fans, if you're watching, there's a bunch of people watching tonight. Why is Bowling Green your one pull that you have to go to a year? Why is it your can't miss event? Dave, from you soaking all this up and hearing stuff from the fans, what makes it so special?
The big thing is it's the people. And, I went the first time in 1983, and I remember seeing pictures, now looking back, knowing that I was there in 83, the campground wasn't what it was. I mean, basically the back fence of the actual, fairgrounds, it was actually even closer to the pulling tracks than what it was. And it didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen one given year. It just keeps evolving. I mean, in the time I've been a member, the 40 plus acres on our property, we didn't own that. I mean, the campground was just the 40-ish acres right behind when I joined in 2003. It's just every year it just keeps evolving. It's not all of a sudden we make a huge purchase of ground or something and it takes off. It's just this ever evolving story. And, that's one of the things. I mean, it doesn't happen overnight. It's everybody says, an overnight success that took, 57 years. And that's where, Bowling Green has just grown, each and every year.
This is a picture from 1920 or 1922. This is a picture from 2022. It's not that old, guys. So, but this is if you could say what is Bowling Green, it's the Super Bowl of pulling, and that's why. Look at the people, look at the fans, and that's what it's so neat to hear you say that, Dave. If it wasn't for the fans, this event wouldn't be special. No. I was talking to Stan and Steve Bladegrave this weekend down at White, Texas, and they're like, "Can't wait for Bowling Green. We got to get our parking spot." I mean, pullers race to Bowling Green, Dave, to get their parking spots.
Well, the Saturday before the event, we actually have pullers starting to pull in to get into their spots. And, we try to put them in this, the same spot that they get each year. We try as hard as we can to make that happen. Sometimes it can't happen, but, we try to do that. This coming year, we don't have the fans having to get in line 2 weeks before to put their chairs on the north side. We actually blocked it off. That was one of the big things, last year. They were able to kind of see where they wanted to be, and they can this year reserve that spot. So, it's just one of those, every year there's, things that happen that, just make it that special. Seeing the picture you just put up with the fans, when you walk through the crowd, it's just it just makes you feel very warm and fuzzy of making friends like that. You see each year people sitting in the same spot, and it's just great, just a great time.
It's electric. I'm just flipping through some photos. This is so cool. This would have been on the 55th, right? 2022. Yeah,
yep,
I think so. But that's
I'll have to take a picture in our boardroom. We have a picture from like 1979. And the big grandstands weren't there, and I'll snap a picture when I'm at the building tomorrow, and I'll send that to you because it is just amazing. You look at last year's big crowd shot, and then you look back then, and it's like, wow, what a difference.
Hey, Mike, Google Bowling Green tractor pull pictures from 1970s. See if you can find anything.
Sure.
It's fun to go through all this. I mean, for people who haven't been to Bowling Green, that's the Bowling Green. It looks like a NASCAR. I mean,
Jason,
it's huge, parking lot, everything.
The picture you have up right now of the campground.
Yeah.
Okay. The section to the left, that back section,
Up here.
that's all been done in the last 10, 15 years. That wasn't there. The campground, that the section to the right, when I joined the club, that's all the camping that was there.
Wow.
So campground is just about doubled, and then you look at how they're shoehorned in for all the pullers.
Yep.
And of course everybody's pulling rig is getting smaller.
Oop. we kicked Dave off. I swear it wasn't me, Dave.
Yep.
Yeah.
I made the comment that the pulling rigs are getting smaller, and how we had they're easy to shoehorn in.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Well, you can even see, you were talking about it evolving, and Jason was going through some pictures in there, the bleachers on the north side, and you can always kind of tell how current someone's Bowling Green picture is, because you can see at the very end they expanded those bleachers around 2018, 2019, somewhere in there. So I feel like it just literally grows every year. And I go back, I watch a lot of vintage pulling anywhere I can find it, and you can watch it in the USHRA days. And you look at the north side bleachers, and they're about half the size of what they are now. And then you look at it in 2006, and they double that. And then you can see the new pictures today, and they're extended 80 yards down the track. So it's like the bleachers themselves are a growing entity, and every year they're a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. You can almost date the pull based on what bleachers you're looking at.
Yeah, and we just did a video. We have one last founding member. He was there year one of the club and the event. And I asked Dick Emsch, I said, and you got his picture up there, I said, did you ever imagine that this thing would be what it is? And he goes, no. He goes, it just has evolved. And he just, when he was there a couple years ago, he just shook his head. He goes, oh man, because he lives up in Minnesota. And he said, man, it's just amazing what has happened, over all of the years. And he says every year it just keeps changing. And,
that's amazing.
So we're starting to videotape some of our older members, getting their stories in their words while they're still here.
Yep.
It's something, it's something that, when I got on the board, there was one of the founding members lived about 2 miles from my house, and he was always coming by my house, telling me stories, why I didn't turn my phone on and throw it on his dashboard just to be able to capture his words. It's just unbelievable of seeing, where this is coming. I can't wait to see where the next 20, 30 years takes us.
How much fun was it to debut your new sled? You guys have got a new sled, or a new wrap on the sled, and you were able to debut that at one of the other super national pulls. Is there a story behind the sled, or what kind? Because Bowling Green has kind of had a long time. There was one back in the 80s that Fort Recovery used to borrow. You guys have kind of always had an affiliation with a tough sled. So tell the story about sleds in Bowling Green and what's happening this year.
Well, years and years ago, the club, Northwest Ohio Tractor Pullers, actually had a sled that we went around, and just like, the Bowers, people hire the Bowers to bring a sled, they would hire the Northwest Ohio Tractor Pullers. Yeah. And so being part of a sled and owning a sled, we do not own the sled that we're on now, but, we decided to sponsor it because we do have a history of, helping this sport, of truck and tractor pulling. That's kind of one of our missions as a club, is to promote the sport no matter who's putting it on. And so when we had the opportunity to put the sponsorship on it, it kind of took it back to, one of our roots of what our club was all about. And so it's really cool to be part of it. And the Bauer sleds are extremely, great sleds. So we definitely wanted to be part of it. And so that opportunity came up, and we jumped on it as soon as we could.
I'm sharing some behind the hook videos right now, and fans, all these videos are on their Facebook page. at the National Tractor Pulling Championship Facebook page. I love this, Dave, because as a promoter, you took this your own initiative, and I think that's why you can draw in. You have your own title sponsor of your own event. I mean, I know some of the Super Nationals do, but to have a Maximum Tire come on, they don't sell a pulling tire, but they know they have a chance to sell more farm tires or egg tires to your fans, and that's neat that they're jumping on board with something like this. It's exciting. So
it's great to have somebody that comes in and says, we want to be part of your event. The sponsors that we do have, every single one of them just want to be part of our event. And,
Yep.
We love having them there. And, when we try to give them the bang for their buck to promote their products or their services so that, they want to come back each and every year. And that's just, we try to do a good job, not only on the business side of it, but also the sports side of it, to put on the very best event and pulling for the fans, because, I know earlier tonight, you guys were talking about, it is a show. It is, people come for entertainment. Now, if it's not entertaining, if they're not having a good time, they're not going to come back. So, we try to do the best we can. And when fans do, have comments, we do listen. I've had fans call me and, they've called the office. Hey, we want to talk to somebody. And I've reached out to them. Anytime somebody says they want to talk to, somebody on the board, I'm willing to, make the time to call so that we can improve the show and the event for every single person.
Dave, I'm super excited. I work with the Full Pull team. We help with the live stream, and we launched Real Money Wagering in Toma, and then we did it at White, Texas last weekend. Dave, what I think that's going to be able to bring to our sport, and what can that even do to a Bowling Green? You get 30,000 people. That's why I hope the Wi-Fi works.
Yeah. Well, we've invested a ton in Wi-Fi. Well, because Full Pull is going to be there, and the live streaming, and
yep.
We need to make sure that that our the sponsors are there. No, we cannot at this point do Wi-Fi for all of the fans, but it's one of those we're definitely each year trying to improve that, because eventually I would love to be able to have good Wi-Fi for all of the fans. I went to an NHRA event this last weekend. Guess what? Wi-Fi and cell service didn't work there. It wasn't any better than what we have. So it's definitely not just a tractor pulling thing. It's anytime you put 30,000 people.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had great signal strength. Phone didn't do a thing. And
yep.
So, it's just one of those. I think the technology still needs to come a little ways before we can do.
Well, and that's so tough. I mean, you go to a football game, a basketball game, just that many interferences all in one spot. It's crazy. But no, I'm excited with the live stream that Full Pull's doing, and with the gambling, the wagering. It's going to be a lot of fun. Right now, you pick 2 people to finish in the top 3. It's fun for people to do that, and then the money line will move as the money moves around. And bowling, I don't know if you can find a more passionate Bowling Green fan. And Dave, hell, it's been years people sit up there, everybody throws $20 in the hat, you pick 2 winners, and and now it's real. You go to fullpullpicks.com and bang, you're doing it. I mean, I had an older gentleman, he's probably in his 80s. He's like, hey, he comes up to me down in White, Texas. One of your guys gave me this card, and he had a smartphone and he had a QR code, Dave, but that was not English. So I helped him out with the QR code, and he got his $20, and I didn't get a chance to catch up with him. I hope he won. But, you can make a $5 minimum wager. So I think that's going to add a lot to it. And I've heard a lot of people say, too, like, Dave, there's tractor fans and there's truck fans. But it's been fun to hear people say, wow, I don't want to watch 72 two-wheel drive trucks at Bowling Green, but I bet they will if they put a little money on them. And I hope that engagement. But we'll see. It's going to evolve. And talking to the marketing people and stuff like that. But Bowling Green is a Super Bowl, Dave. It's so fun to just be part of your event and talk about it, because there isn't one person. Like, I feel like in Europe, it's that MADA, or it looks like the word made, but it's actually MADA. I think they're the Bowling Green of Europe. With their entertainment, they have fireworks and they do crazy shit over there, Dave. I think they drink more during the day. I don't know. Bowling Green seems to have a good time. So
yeah.
But when go ahead, Dave.
I've got pictures of the local Kroger store that they don't even unpack the pallets of beer. They just roll the pallet into the beer aisle, and I don't know very many events that drink more beer than some of our Pulling fans do.
I've said this on here, and I don't remember if it's been with you or Keith or some of our other guests we've had affiliated with Bowling Green, but every community kind of has a rough idea of how much monetary stimulus it's brought in, for an event. I want someone to measure the fluid ounces of beer that are transferred through what Bowling Green or what county you guys are in during that week. I want Anheuser-Busch or some distributor to give me that number sometime.
That would be interesting. You also got to remember it's right around move-in weekend for the local college.
Right. Yeah.
So wow. I think this year I think this year's move-in is the week after our event, but the poor town of Bowling Green gets hammered pretty hard with people, the influx of people, because you got college move in, you got ours. Then they have a arts festival about 3 weeks after our event, from the 1st of August when the fair hits all the way through September. The town of Bowling Green has a lot of events going on, so it's pretty cool. It's a neat place to live.
Yeah.
Just as a promoter, it can't be you don't just work on this 1 week out of the year, Dave. This is something you guys do all year round. You're constantly planning this and putting this together. It's amazing. How often do the Blue Shirts get together? Is it like the third Thursday, or is it like church? How do you guys do that?
We have a club meeting the third Tuesday of each month.
Okay.
Our board gets together twice a month. On average, we have 2 board meetings, but then we have extra ones. We've now meet with the fair board during the wintertime once a month. Our executive board, their executive board get together, talking about ideas of joint projects that we can do that would help both events. It's like some of the improvements that we're doing, like with taking those scales out.
Yep.
We had to go to the fair board and going, we'd really like to make that scales, go away and put something, new in. And, they have to approve it with their board. And so it's, I figure my executive board, we probably have 3 to 4 meetings a month. I know 3. I know 3 with the two director meetings, and then the fair board meeting, and then like this coming month, we'll have safety meeting with all of the safety people, the EMA and the fire department and the sheriff's department and the police department, and we get everybody there together just to make sure, hey, if somebody's got something they want to talk about, it's out on the table in enough time that we can make things happen.
It's amazing.
So yeah, I think July's going to go faster than June did.
No, seriously, Dave. When I always look down at the bottom right corner of my screen to say, "Hey, welcome everybody. Let's go Pulling." And I go like, "It's July 1st." I looked at Mike and said, "Where did June go?" Where did June go? So when can campers start coming in, Dave? Like, is there like a day, like they come in on Monday, or when can they start setting up?
Yeah, it's Tuesday, of pull week. So it'd be like the 13th.
It's the Mardi Gras of motorsports. Yeah, I can't disagree with that. And then your full-time staff, they're amazing. Can you talk about them a little bit, Dave? Chris is the one I talk to a lot with our sponsorship and stuff.
Yeah, Chris Henninger's our business manager, and then Pam Metzger is the other person in our office. We only have 2 full-time employees, and those 2 ladies work their tails off. They are the ones that make sure all of our fans are happy on the phone, and anything that our fans need, they take care of. They try to keep 9 directors and 200 blue shirts going in the same direction, and it's a full-time job for both of them. But they do an outstanding job. Love working with both those ladies. They just anything the board needs, anything the club needs, they take care of it.
It's awesome. It is very, very awesome. Again, checking in with Dave Schultz, president of the Northwest Ohio Tractor Pulling Association. Bowling Green coming up here in 44 days. I had the counter up there earlier. Read it off again, Dave, right now, 44 days. It's down to
44 days, 21 hours, 6 minutes, and 11 seconds.
And even that feels like that's quick. That feels like that's not 44. Like if you'd asked me just based on the way things go, I'd have been like, Bowling Green, it's 70, 80 days away. 44, we're basically there. I mean, honestly, for you who works year round at this, 44 days out, you're in crunch time, more or less, I would imagine,
Yeah, at this point, we don't, there's not a whole lot of things that we want to change in what we're doing because, it's pretty much got to be set in motion.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I do, and I know it drives the ladies in the office just crazy, is after we finish on Saturday night, before I go to bed, we have a countdown clock back at our club building. I go and reset the clock. And and Sunday morning I get some nasty looks, but it's like, I put up a new bumper sticker because we have that under the clock, we have a bumper sticker, and I go and change the clock because it's like, it's working on the next one. We are that. I'm just love being going, okay, I'm ready for it. Hate for it to be over because, we talk about June went fast, July went fast, it's going to go fast. That weekend of the National Tractor Pulling Championships is literally a blink of an eye. 1 minute we're pulling on, the first tractor goes down the track, Thursday night, and all of a sudden the last tractor is going down Saturday night. That's how fast it just goes by.
Is it actually more work or less work? Because I've noticed when it comes to event, on the backside of things, you'll almost work harder right up until the first green flag. And once that first green flag waves, you're kind of in what's going to happen is going to happen. And you kind of adapt and overcome as it does. So from first green on Thursday to last red on Saturday, is that actually less work than the rest of the year round?
I think I don't want to say it's less work. One of the things I enjoy visiting with all the people. So it's just this constant, seeing people. I mean, some people you get to you walk up and say hi, and that's all the time that they have or that you have, but it just goes by so fast. And a lot of it at that point, you're just reacting to whatever's coming up.
Yeah.
There's always something new that goes on. And so, it's just, like I said, it just goes into, hyper mode, once the first tractor goes down. It's like I usually try at some point to just go down on the starting line, and when Larry would have his golf cart down there, I would go down and just sit down and just watch 2 or 3 tractors go down and just take it in, because before you know it, it's over, and you're there Sunday morning, cleaning up the beer cans afterwards.
Yeah.
Keith jumping in. It's not less work, but it's different work, he says.
I would agree with that. I'd agree with that.
Hey, the name National Tractor Pulling Championships, when did that actually happen? Like, was that year one, or Dave, what's the story behind that?
It's from year one, 1967.
They called it the National Tractor Pulling Championship right out of the gate?
It was the National Tractor Pull. I know listening to Dick Emstock, he says, it was, we got to have a national pull, and that's how it started.
Neat.
And one of our other directors, Jim Alt's got minutes. He's got copies of the minutes from way back, pre-1967, before we had the event, and he's listening to how they wanted to do things, and kind of the format. Some of it has stayed pretty much true to form of what it's been.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. We're going to wrap up here with Dave Schultz, president of the NWOTPA National Northwest Ohio Tractor Pulling Association, aka Bowling Green. If you have any questions, please throw them in the comments, and we'll get that going for him. And appreciate him coming on as they're getting up. Like we said, we joked about where did June go, and then you're in about 30 days. We're going to say where did July go. Next thing you know, it's Bowling Green.
Yep.
And it's time to get ready.
Jason, one of the things I actually had a puller ask, because we're doing the whole wristband thing to get in the campground. Yeah. And they said, well, what do we have to do? What do the pullers have to do? Because a lot of the pullers like to go back and visit with the fans and hang out with the fans, and their hot pit, cold pit, the armbands that they get for them and their teams from NTPA when they get there, those will get them back into the campgrounds also.
Okay.
So I had somebody over the weekend ask me, hey, how does this work? And I said, no, the bands that you get will get you back there.
Awesome. Well, Dave, thanks for coming on tonight. We appreciate you. And we'll be touching base here again in a few weeks, and we'll keep promoting the biggest pull in the world, buddy.
I appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity to come on. Anytime I get a chance to come on, I love talking to our fans. I love talking to the pullers that watch. I love spreading, the word of what we do.
Awesome. And that's good. You have to be open, and not everything you hear is always good, but it's good feedback from everybody, and that's the only way we can make it better. So I appreciate that, Dave.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Have a good night, buddy.
Take care.
Sure.
Dave Schultz, everybody, the El Presidente of the Blue Shirts, the biggest tractor pull in the world, the Super Bowl. Mike, it's special. Bowling Green, we've talked Rock Valley tonight.
Yeah.
We're talking about Dorr, Michigan tonight.
Yeah.
But two big events, and it is sad to see what's happened to Rock Valley, but I'm glad they're rallying. And I think Bowling Green's the type of community that this has to be the biggest thing that happens in their town every year. I mean, when Kroger doesn't even take the beer off the pallets, they just put the pallets out in the middle and they let them rock and roll.
And that really
fun.
says something too, considering the size of Bowling Green. Bowling Green compared to your Bowling Green, Ohio, compared to your average tractor pulling town, they have a Division I university there. That's a 30,000 population town. So for them, 30,000 people are going to drink a lot of beer, a lot more than what they're drinking in, our little towns. So for them to even say like, holy crap, this is making such a dent. Yeah, that's a big deal. When you're putting a dent in a town of that size, that's a big deal for that community. And everyone knows BG.
How cool is it going to be when people can gamble on this thing in Bowling Green?
So that one in and of itself, well, it'd be, me, I've been talking about these numbers. It would almost be neat to see if Full Pull does their statistics to do like all gambling of the year and then just the Bowling Green weekend and just kind of compare them. I bet Bowling Green will flirt with bringing in just as much that weekend as maybe a lot of the other events combined, just because of the magnitude of it,
So what's cool about the gambling, the betting, whatever you want to call it, is, and I have $107 in my account. I am a high roller, friends. That's my account.
That's 107 more than I have in my account.
I won a class at Toma, and I won a couple of classes down there in White Ray. But I also lost like 15 other classes too. But just think. So at the end of the day, Mike, when people say to me, "Why are you so passionate about the sport?" And I always say, because of my dad, the relationship I have with my dad. It was our thing. It is our thing.
Yeah.
And then now, what is my why now? Tractors are very expensive. Trucks are very expensive. The pullers deserve a bigger payback.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the first time in my life, I'm involved with something that I know is absolutely going to put more money back into the pullers' pockets. And it's going to be through gambling. It's going to be through live stream. And then ultimately it's going to be through sponsorship. Because for the first time now, Mike, the NTPA and the Outlaws with the live streams can say, take to a sponsor and say, listen, this is how many people we have watching. One spot. It's not, we got 30 YouTubers or we got 10 Facebook pages. And Beer Money was one of them. Again, 2 years ago, I said, Beer Money pulling team. Yeah, it's cool and it's fun and we like to have a good time. But I went to work for the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association. I helped the NTPA with their social media. I'm part of the Full Pull team with social media and influencing and the live stream. So I feel like now we're taking our audience to those, because these Full Pulls, what's really going to take the sport to the next level. And that's why I'm excited about it. I'm beyond excited about it. And, everybody, when it first got rolled out, blah, blah, it'll never happen. And you're starting to see the enthusiasm. Oh, wow, these guys are actually doing this. And that's what makes it fun. Literally, that 85-year-old guy, Mike, when he came up to me in White Right, I about cried. It made me so happy, because we have brand ambassadors at every event walking around handing out cards with QR codes. Everybody, I don't know how long the $20 thing will last, where you get $20 to create a new account. But for him to say, "Sir, I was told you're the Full Pull guy," I said, "Yeah, I am." I didn't know what else to say. I'm like, "Yes, sir." And he goes, I got a smartphone and I got this business card, but I don't know what to do. And that's where it was fun to do all that. So it was fun to do all that. So
I bet if you could talk to anybody in the big time side of the NFL, and not to, whatever. I don't want to compare tractor and NFL, but
just cut to the shit, Mike. Football and basketball be not where it is without gambling. That's what
and not just gambling, but media streaming platforms, whatever that be it CBS or ESPN, they would say if it weren't for the way we were able to broadcast, that's what I'm looking for, a singular unified broadcasting approach that allows eyes to be on us. And then once that's established, everyone coming in, because, it's a great point. People who were not watching the 72 two-wheel drives or the 50 super farms or whatever, no one watched Thursday night football until you could put money on it. And now watch any football game without hearing an MGM bets or whatever they are. I mean, that's all you hear when you watch it. They would say it's what took them from a hobby to America's pastime.
No, it's exciting. And you don't like, I don't want, I don't like gambling or I don't like any of this stuff. It's crazy to go through all that, for people to get excited. I love the people that say this is going to fail, because all this does is just motivate us more and more and more. You know what I mean? To do this, because if you said it exactly, the NFL would not be where it is. Okay. There are people that bet on NFL football games that don't even care about it, but that's one more eyeball now that Full Pull can take to a sponsor and say, listen, we have this many eyeballs on this sport, because for 35 years we've been doing it the same way, and we're here and we've been here for 35 years. The only thing that's costing more is the price of these vehicles, right?
Yeah.
Because you talk to pullers in the 80s and 90s, and they were getting more money than we're getting today. Okay, so something's wrong, and Full Pull's here to fix it, and I'm excited. I'm just glad to be part of it. I mean, it's amazing, and I'm going to talk about it till I die, because this is going to be the thing that took us to the next level. So here's the leaderboard. Everybody, this is at fullpullpicks.com. Okay. Super easy. You can go to it on your phone, go down your computer. I like to look at it on my computer because I have a 40-inch computer screen, because I'm 48 years old now and my eyes hurt and I can't hear anymore because I stand next to Unlimiteds without earplugs to get cool videos for everybody. But so these are some of our winners here from this past weekend down in White, Texas. Tristan Myers, he won $193. So these are people betting $5, $10, $15, to win this kind of money. We were messing around. If any of us had the stones or the balls to put a $1,500 bet down, and you would have picked Stahl and Megatron to win, I think it was a crazy number. And that's what's great about it. You can actually put it in. But fans, the line does move because it's following the money until the class starts. And at that point, then you have to knock it out from there.
What about the random guy, because this happens in betting, who would have picked the debut rookies from Oklahoma? Never been down a track before.
Mike, I picked him Friday night. I put $5 on him.
He won. He won.
They won
on Saturday. Saturday. Well, I thought I played it so safe. I thought, you know what? 2 out of 3. We're gonna go Omer. We're gonna go Nelson. They finished 2 and 3 in points for and see, this is what makes it fun too, because you get to come on here and analyze it. I thought Omer Nelson, I'm gonna come away with $40, safe bet. And no, because just pulling's awesome, because anything can happen at any point. But yeah, if you'd have put $5 on I can't even think of their last name right now. It's
Wegner's.
But yeah, if you'd have put $5 on him, his line would have been I don't know, big payout.
I want to show you so somebody won $1,700 in the diesel trucks on Friday night. So it's fun to go through. You can see what everybody picked on here. All of it's on here. It's great. It is great. So what you do, fans, what class you do, this little drop down right here, and you head up to 3 LD. So there's session 2. I want to go to session 1. Let's see your session 1. Pro stock picks. This is your pro stocks Friday night. Session 2, your 2-wheel drive trucks. Session 2. Here's 3L diesel truck Saturday night. There we go. Natasha won $1,400.
Real money. We're not. This isn't last
anymore.
fall where they got a ball cap for good job, you won the competition. Now, Jason, I was wondering about this because I don't know this and I haven't had a chance. How do you cash out, and how does that money get into?
You just go up here. You go up to your account and you cash out.
And then they'll deposit it digitally in some format.
Yeah, to your credit card or your bank account. I'm just going to leave all my money in there. So, which
is what, yet again, this is why gambling, this is why this is going to work. 90% of people, like you, like me, if you win $100, $200, $300, you're just going to go to the next event and say, ooh, I've got $200 to play with this time. And you're going to reinvest that. And then it just stays right there and good things happen.
So here's what's fun about this. Here's Natasha's 2 picks. So she bet twice on Friday night or Saturday night, right? So she put, $450. So she bet $900 on there, and she picked Cody Lee and Jason Wayman. Or no, that would have paid. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But you can see over here she
She
entered $450. You're right. She bet $450 on Wayman and Lee. But this is the second one over here. This is the one that hit. She bet $50, and it shows because we're Cody, right? Cody juiced up, had high odds, so he paid $12.95. So she grabbed a favorite, right?
Yeah,
Wayman.
Everyone in the world bet on Wayman or Stahl. Just everybody did. You know they did.
Yep. But Cody Lee juiced up one of the Texas trucks. He's got 3 trucks in the class. Hit her $50 right there. That paid out $1,295. That's how she won $1,410. So that's what's fun about it. And if there was some live entries up right now, I could go in and play about that. And Ron and I did that on Between the White Lines. Our pre-show, Mike, that you were going to be involved with on the Outlaws.
Yep.
We did a bunch of scenarios like that. Ron and I were driving down when I was in the airport. I was like, Ron, we were making bets and having a good time with it.
Yep. And you brought up the best point ever, and you said you and I got into pulling for the same reason. It's because it's what we did with our dads, right? And you've met my dad, and you've seen what a pulling nut he is, or just what a nut he is in general. But every pull you go to, you sit there in your windshield talk, and you just look at each other. Who you got? Who's winning 2-wheel drives? Who's winning super fun? I mean, it's what you've done your whole life, every pull you've gone to. So now you get to do it for real. It's nothing's different than what you've ever done before. So, but now you get to be like Natasha and go home with $1,400.
Well, Cody Richardson is the biggest winner. This is his Friday night winnings about this. And what's fun about this, Mike? $5 is a minimum bet. $5.
Yeah.
I mean, you can piss that away on a can of a Monster Energy drink or something like that. You know what I mean? Well, you shouldn't be buying Monster. You should be buying Coltrane.
I was going to say, I buy the much more cost-effective, locally made right here in the great state of Missouri. Coltrane Energy, official. But anywho, no, I spent $50. I bought the family Subway tonight. Went in town and got Subway, and it was like $48. And so, I mean, $5, shoot, nothing.
But check this out. This $1,400. So Cody made 2 bets on Friday night. 2 bets, right?
Uh-huh.
He bet $50. So on each, so $100 is his entry fee. So he put $100 down. I took Stahl and Wayman, last year's points champion.
Yeah.
Look at this. So his $50 on Wayman paid $530. His $50 on Stahl paid $890. You have to pick 2 pullers that can finish in the top 3. I mean, that's kind of cool. Out of a class of 9 or 10, that's not terrible. Those aren't terrible odds, Mike, if you think about that. And then he also bet $20. So he made 2 bets. But the money line had obviously changed at that point. Or I don't know. He just entered $20, so just paid.
So it does.
Bets in.
When you bet, it locks in at where the money line is right then and there. It waits until pull time.
Yeah, because it's going to fall. Because this is peer to peer. We're not betting against Vegas. We're not betting against the book. We're ultimately betting against each other. So the money's falling. So that's why that one paid off so good with Natasha. She took a favorite, and then she took maybe a long shot. But the long shot hit, and that's kind of I don't know. I don't know all the fancy words like parlaying and stuff like that. Yeah. Let me know if you're watching right now and you played either at Toma or you played at White Right this past weekend. That's what makes it. Just let us know what you think of it. Like the app is easy to use. You can navigate it pretty good. I'm on the leaderboard right now. Here's Wayman. He bet on himself and Ryan Stahl. He won $1,400. He put $100 down, and he won $1,420. So, I mean, it's neat to see that. Or I don't know. That's probably one of his family members. I actually don't know if that's him or not. I just see Wayman. Could have been his brother or his kid. You just have to be 18 and you got to have a credit card to do it. So, but it's fun. Then you can go down through here and see all the winners, Mike. Okay. And how many people bet on that class. It's pretty cool to see it go down through here, all this. And then my picks, these are my actual picks. In Pro Stocks on Saturday night, I finished 12th. I didn't win any money. I made 3 bets, Mike. I did Cody Yorick and Gone, Richard Warren, and then the rank is you can actually see how they did. So I had some people. Well, this bet got canceled because Dave actually didn't make it, so I reinvested, if you will, on that. But it's fun to go through here and do all that. So here,
it show you?
Mike, look what I did right here. I bet $5 on Lacey and Caden on Friday night. If I would have did that on Saturday night.
So did Lacey won on Saturday? Did Caden finish top 3?
Yes, they're trying to get top 3.
So go over. Does it show you what you would have got if your bets would have hit?
So when you enter, and again, this has only been up for a couple of weeks. I'm not super well versed on it. I've played with it a little bit and gone through it, but it shows you at that time what you're going to win.
Yeah.
And it was like that $5. If those two would have hit, it was like I was going to win like $750
Yeah.
because they were like
Yeah.
40 to 1. So,
well, they're brand new tractors. Literally,
well, that's amazing fun.
Test and tuned them. They test and tuned each of them once, blown the motor when they test and tuned them. This was the first time they'd ever, not even new tractors. They'd never driven a pulling vehicle before. And then they finished first and third on Saturday night. Are you kidding me?
So my $10 bet won me $57. I took Donald Nelson and Wayne Sullivan on Friday night and the mods. So, and then this is my third ranking out of all the people that wagered on that class. I was the third highest. I can go back up to the leaderboard. This little red dot here, it drops down and shows you how everybody did. So let's go modifieds. You can go back and see Toma. You can see all this. Again, this just got rolled out in Toma, but this is exciting as hell. It's so fun.
Yeah, so, scroll down and so DW, I bet in this class. Show me where I finished.
So DW was won $101. T Arthur. What's your
just my name. I'm a big believer that you don't hide behind anything.
You finished 22. So I'm gonna click on you.
Yep. So
you bet $20 and Donald won and Tyler got 5th.
Yep.
So but good try.
That's like picking Stahl and Wayman. I mean, if you pick Ulmer and Nelson in the mods, I mean, that's as safe as it gets. But evidently, you can't sleep on Cameron Neves ever, and you can't sleep on Wayne Sullivan. So.
Well, here's what I love about the app too. It's got the competitor distance in there. You know how it's like, oh, I missed it by 1 point, or like a field goal. If they would have made that field goal or made that extra point, I would have won money. Look how tight this can be. You know what I mean? Now this was River Rat in Kentucky, and there was 12 feet between third and fourth because the yellow is the money. But in his top 3. But in some of these other classes, let's go back and look.
Will there be other games too where people can bet on total distance in a class or farthest distance pulled? Or for right now, are we sticking to finishing order?
No, they have a bunch of stuff coming down the pipe, but right now this is just to get it out of the gate.
Yeah,
there's going to be a bunch of stuff where, like a lot of the cool stuff they did last year. But let's say you threw $100 down and you had high maintenance and Buckeye Holler. High maintenance missed by 3 feet. That's what's going to make this exciting and fun.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to have a lot of people that are going to do a lot of 5s and 10s. That's what I'm doing, Mike. I'm betting $50 to $100 a night. Moving it around, trying different, odds and like I felt confident that Wayman was going to finish in the top 3 if that truck goes down the track.
Yeah.
But what are we used to? We're used to watching Colin Ross go down the track every single night. And then every now and then the old triple bypass doesn't light. And that's going to be bang.
And this is the other thing I love about pulling, you get that random X factor crossover driver. You get like Wayne Sullivan.
Well, here, Johnny Sullivan.
Showing up, or Steven Blake,
Yep. NTPA Grand National defending champ, wins Farley, right, out of the box. He finishes 6th in White Right, Texas out of 17 trucks. Now, he's 4 feet out of third. He's 7 feet out of first. But you want to talk about competitive class. Taz won Toma, but it's fun. I'm telling you, when people realize this and it's, it gets more momentum every week, it's the bomb. It's the bomb. And money is going back to the pullers, fans. Money's going back to the pullers.
My father-in-law.
Contracts are with the NTPA, contracts with the Outlaws. Money is going back to the pullers into points funds and different things like that. I don't know exactly how it works at each association, but I know for a fact with the Outlaws, because I'm very connected with the Outlaws, that money is going back to the points fund at the end of the year from Full Pull. FullPullPicks.com is giving money back to the pullers. It's amazing. I'm jacked. Fun.
That's the biggest disparage, and it's when people who aren't involved in pulling can see it. It obviously needs to be rectified. My father-in-law doesn't know much about pulling. He was watching the pull with me in White Right on outlawpulling.tv on Saturday night. And he's asking me, what do one of these cost? And you can just tell by looking at it. We're watching the mod class, two 1471 charged Hemis on there. This is an expensive hobby. And so he's saying, well, obviously, like, they must get paid like a lot when they win. No. And, I start kind of just showing him some various associations and whatnot and payouts. And it's just, people are like, that's wild, and it is what it is. And like you said, times have changed and vehicles have gotten expensive. So if money goes back to the pullers, it's how it should be, it's what needs to happen.
Yep. Right here. This is a perfect example. This person, Renee Martin, doesn't matter. $10. Okay. Won her $286. and that's cool. So I mean, it's because Ray Miller had higher odds. He went out of bounds Friday night. Saturday night they won. I mean,
well, and that's what I like about this too. Like Richard Morris and Ray Miller, that's a safe pick. You know, Jason Wayman and Ryan Stahl, that's a safe pick, and you're still making some decent cash off of safe picks. So it's not like, because I feel like when I watch football, if you gamble and you bet the Chiefs are going to win, if you bet $100 on the Chiefs, you win like $110. You get like $10 back. Like this looks like if you're betting on Wayman to win, you put $5 down, you get $100 back. I mean, what's not to like about that?
Yeah, so Cody basically took the same pitch twice. He threw $20 down on one and $100 down on the other, and the 100 paid out. So they both paid out well. So it's neat to see that. So Tractor Puller finished number 4th. He bet 3. He had 3 entries in this class. He put 10 on Wayman and Stahl. That paid 142. And you can see right here which vehicle, there's the odds. So Stahl obviously had longer odds, or worse odds, if you will, than Megatron did. And, and Megatron's a gangster. The gray truck, the gray truck, Mike, is what I'm excited about right here, because that's Jason Hill's old truck, the Hill Brothers truck. He bought that. So, I mean, he had the best odds in the class, him and Wayman. So that wasn't going to pay out as much. So this $5 bet, but still this $5 bet still paid out $32.
Now, and
those are 2 favorites.
Your odds are just based on
where the money's going. It's like
right. So it's not because you and I could sit here and say, well, Wayman shouldn't have better odds than Stahl. Stahl was your points champion last year, but that has nothing to do with it. It's not an analyst, making it or whatever. It's just
where the money is.
Yep. That's interesting.
That's fun. So click on the leaderboard. You can go through, do the little red drop down. And you can click on each class. And it was just fun because we got it rolled out with the Outlaws. The Outlaws were one of the first associations with the NTPA to jump on this. Only one person won that picked the top 2 trucks in Pro Stocks tractors, but that makes sense, right? Kids Inheritance, those are tractors you'd never heard of.
There was the Pro Stock class this weekend was some curveballs, and the Diesel Supers would have been really kind of funky because there were so many gremlins.
Everybody would have picked Blake Graves to win. But
no, I agree. I agree with that. But where do you pick your number 2? The rest of them there, especially given evidently you Diesel Super drivers don't like the Texas air. Evidently just only Steve and Stan know how to breathe that Texas air, because that class really battled the gremlins. But that would have been a major curveball to pick who's going to be in those next spots.
Yep. And Diesel Supers, they're fun. That's all I'm going to say. But once you have some money in your account, you actually won, not your free. You can't withdraw your free money. You actually got to make some money with your free money.
$25 and then cash out and run away.
But you can go on here. Withdraw your money. Here's my transaction history. You can see my wins and my losses, since I started in Whitewright, and I did some stuff in Toma as well.
Who's been your biggest hit so far? What's been your biggest win, or your who's been your craziest pick you've picked?
I don't remember. I mean, I think I picked light mods in Toma. I picked RJ, and I picked Payne. And I almost one of the last hooks almost screwed it up. That's like when you're watching the excitement, you guys, you're going to watch every class. That's why the live stream is so important if you can't be there, because right now there's times, I mean, if the 2-wheel drive truck class would have finished like the first 10 hooks, I was gold, Mike, but the track just kept getting better, and when the bets are there, it's the pulling orders there as well, so it's fun. I mean, there's a lot of, I don't have time to sit down and be a total dork and analyze.
I'll tell you what changes.
Some people do.
What changes your interpretation of how you watch pulling is, for me, out of bounds now becomes so much more meaningful than it ever was, because as a fan, you're watching a great run and a guy goes out of bounds. You're like, oh, bummer. But you kind of know he still went 314 feet. So you talk about what a great run. But if you've got money on that, and all of a sudden, like Ray Miller, great example, Friday night, like his distance would have put him right up in there in the top spots, but he goes out of bounds and throws him all the way to the bottom. You might have did him just to finish a regular 5th, but going out of bounds, it's going to bump everybody up one. So that's where something like that becomes so much more meaningful as a fan.
Yep.
Between the white lines.
But he's your defending points champion too. So I mean, that's where
right.
That's where it's going. And like when we had Dave Schultz on earlier, talk about Bowling Green. when Masterson's there and Simons are there, okay, there's going to be some egos too. Okay.
Oh, yeah. You think they're going to be?
Oh boys, it's going to be fun.
Well, and I was thinking you're going to get some big corporate sponsors and people who go to the Wisners and the Bowling Green, and someone's going to be up there huffing and blowgutting. And if your neighbor bets, $100, you're going to say, "Well, I'll bet $500," and then the guy next to you is like, "Oh, you big sissy, I'll bet you're going to get some of that up in the big rollers up there."
Yep. But real money is here. Betting, gambling, real money, cash games, it's here in this water truck and traffic pulling. And it's going to take our sport to the next level because it's going to bring new eyeballs to the sport. And it's what it deserves. We need to be in that same category when we say NHRA, when we say NASCAR. Full Pull is going to put it there because of Full Pull picks. And then the live stream, we continue to get better every week. We're working on it. We're listening to feedback. We've had 4 chances at it, and it's been fun to take it to the level we're at. Same with Outlaw Pulling TV. We had a horrible Ravenna start, but we've rebounded and we actually look like we know what we're doing now. We did have Saturday night, our red generator died. It overheated, it might, during the pro stock class, but the live stream didn't drop. But it did. We had just a still picture of a track here for about 5 minutes till we got to another generator, got rebooted. But the whole replay is there if you buy that for the $39.99 a month, either at fullpull.live. Fullpull.live is $39.99. I think Outlaw TV is $39.95. I think it's 4 cents. I think it's a marketing thing. Somebody told us to put a 5 at the end instead of a 9. I don't remember which is which, but so Rock Valley, it's going to be neat, Mike. There's going to be Full Pull and Outlaw TV are going to work together, and I think it's going to be just through fullpull.live, and all the money that goes back to there is going to go to this. So I'm pretty excited for all that. But what did so you've been on vacation the last couple weeks, and fans, I want to wrap this up. I'm super tired. Been drove home from the last couple of days with the motorhome in Texas. But tell me about your June. What was your big surprise from June? I've been with Full Pull a lot. I was in Farley, Benson, Hutch, Toma. Got to go out to Whitewright. I got to go to Ravenna. What's been the biggest storylines for you so far this year, Mike? And I'm gonna let the fans come in as well and tell us, what are you seeing, Mike, on the interwebs, social media? What are you seeing personally? What are you writing about in your blogs?
Well, one thing, it's coming right out of this weekend, and I made a reel about it on my personal page while I was sitting in the motorhome because I couldn't not talk about it. Breaking down the modified results out of Whitewright, Texas with the Outlaws. And I just love looking at guest pullers and crossover pullers. So when you hear a name like Wayne Sullivan, and he's Papa Wayne, he's the Kentucky, and he's won everything there is to win. And he comes to pull with the Outlaws, which as far as I know is the first time he's pulled with the Outlaws. You're wondering, everyone's going to sit there and say, okay, how do people stack up against each other? And in Texas, I feel is a very proud regional area, and they kind of want to defend their home state and their home association. So you've got Cameron Neves and Donald Nelson not only sitting there saying like, hey, Don, or hey, Wayne, come and play with us anytime you want, but we're the Outlaws. You're not going to just walk right past us here. And by the way, this is Texas. So the 2 Texas guys go 1-2 both Friday and Saturday night, with Wayne finishing 3rd. Now, to me, if I'm Kurt Van Beek or someone, this is the best possible scenario ever. This proves that the Outlaw mods don't take anything from anybody. The Texas guys don't take anything from anybody. But I'm wondering, is Wayne Sullivan now sitting there just scratching that itch, saying to himself, 3rd's great, but boy, I got to get past those 2 guys. Will we see him back just because of that finishing order and that experience? Will we see him in Wisner? Will we see him in Rock Valley? Will we see him from time to time? And I also noticed, for what it's worth, that Steve and Stan did go ahead and register to pull points with the Outlaws too. Is that an indication that we'll see them every great once in a while? I don't know. Bigger picture, Pulling is doing an awesome job. The tracks, my single takeaway, if I had to do one thing that I've seen from Ravenna and Norfolk and everything, the tracks that Kevin Bauer is involved in building are really, really, really impressive. The tracks that the Outlaws are creating right now, and watching Kevin work behind the scenes is a lot of fun. If there's something you want to geek out about, watching soil and track building, man, those tracks that he's helping create are really, really impressive. So those are my storylines for my June so far. And cameras are heavy. That's the final thing that I'll say.
And you're doing an awesome job with that camera.
They are. Hey, folks, if you're watching outlawpulling.tv and you notice a very kind of live action shaky cameraman, that's Jason Schultz operating that camera.
You wish. Actually, I love that's my favorite spot to work.
Well, it was funny because as I was watching White Right, because you're always calling me, get low, try this angle, get these artsy fartsy pictures and everything. And as I was watching White Right, I could see you through the camera on your phone, and you're over here like on your knee and laying down. I mean, you're just, getting all the angles. I'm like, oh, that's what he's talking about.
Well, we didn't run it was so hot, Mike. I didn't want to kill my roamer guy at the starting line because it was 100 degrees.
Wait till I'm not there and then give him the night off.
We put him right in the middle, about 50 feet, so we could zoom in on the headshots. But like I watched your stuff from Arlington, and that was money. That's what we want in Manila, and that's what I want, Mike. It's good stuff.
We're getting it figured out. We're getting it dialed in. I told people I went on after my Norfolk show, and I made a Facebook post, and I was like, hey, because one guy said something, he was like, whatever, and I was like, hey man, like it will get dialed in. Like I promise you that. Like I'm not always the best when I start off, but like I'm passionate about things, and I will make it better as I learn more. So we'll get it figured out.
People love to comment on Facebook. So it's all good.
I like that.
Like if they don't think we're not trying, they're wrong. But that's just how it goes. I mean, for the value that you get for that live stream $1, just sit down and do the math. What we're giving you for $40 a month is stupid.
The best subscription. I used to go on this show and brag about it, not even realizing that you were the one that produced it. So I was like being an honest bystander. I mean, seriously, outlawpulling.tv. What are your biggest June takeaways? What are you seeing in the pulling world? What is your June?
So
what has your June shown you?
I'm super involved with Full Pull and the Outlaws to get Full Pull launched and to get gambling finally here. That's just been awesome. I know it's going to be amazing to get going. The Full Pull team, the real smart people, so much stuff behind the scenes with, the states and getting approved and different things like that. I think Full Pull's in 20 states right now. But just watching it get going and watch the growth of our Full Pull team as well in the production trailer. Chase sent the team out to Arcola, Indiana for a free live stream on Facebook and YouTube. That got a lot of views. Doug was out there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with Allison and some camera people, and they rocked it. I got to watch Mackenzie and the production trailer down at White Right. She did awesome. The only snafu we had was Saturday night when the generator died. It just overheated.
And I will say this, and I told her that after I ran the camera for the very first time, I went up to her and I said, all right, I'm going to put my teacher hat on and my dad hat on for a second. And I walked up to her and I was like, you freaking killed it. Like she's doing a top tier job. The way she communicates in the headsets, she's positive when she needs to be positive. She scolds us when she needs to scold us or redirect us. I mean, she handles that ship like a captain. She does. She's doing a top tier job.
Well, it's fun to be involved with, with Outlaw Pulling TV and Full Pull.live. And we have two teams, but, trying to carry that communication and just to be the best we can be, it makes it a lot of fun for everybody to do all that. It's exciting. Super exciting. Love it. Love it. Love it. Having a blast. Blast.
It's fun.
I'm going to bring up the replay right now from great about it. Like with your subscription, Mike, you can go back and start, go back and watch anything. You know what I mean? Anytime.
Well, and it's for me doing the job I do. It's almost I don't want to say mandatory, but it's a resource. Like I still want to write my article where I recap everything that happened in White Right, and I wasn't in White Right, and I don't want to just look at the app and be like, oh, hey guys, Richard Morris won. Well, anyone can see that. I want to be able to give something to the fans, and so you can go back, and it allows you to do that. If you're a puller, I was talking to a lot of pullers in Ravenna, and they were like, we want to watch it. It's like high school football watching game film. They were like, I want to look at how I came off the line. I want to examine, when I got on the break or whatever. Like, it's a resource.
Yep. So I'll show you. I'll still be embarrassed myself here. I'm not afraid to do that. Well, there's the mods. So there's the leaderboard there.
Is this Friday or Saturday?
This looks like Saturday night, I think. I'll have to go double check here. A second. So this was the Texas Truck and Tractor Pullers, Mike, on the right track.
Yep.
If we're standing down at the end, on the left track was all the outlaw classes. And then what we did Again, this is from Outlaw Pulling TV, everybody. And what we did was, I hit pause. Sorry, that was my fault. What we did then is we did the Outlaw track on the left side. So this was one of the four-wheel drive trucks from that. Look at that crowd.
Oh, that's the other thing I noticed. So I thought of you when I saw this, because if there's one thing that stresses you out, it's like seeing an empty square inch of plywood that's a bleacher at a pulling event. And Whitewright, this is 2 years now, I've noticed through watching outlawpulling.tv, their crowd down there, they're not afraid of the heat, man. They pack it in down there.
So they're smart. They don't start till 7:30, Mike, and they let people bring in coolers.
That's the other thing. And I almost wanted to say when we were talking to Dave Schultz and they were like, what makes Bowling Green so big? Like, one thing I almost straight up said, like, if you let people bring in their own refreshments, that will bring a crowd. Like that in and of itself helps the crowd come.
Yep. So, but that's Mr. Ulmer out there getting ready, poking around a little bit. So what we're doing is we're going live about an hour ahead of time. So if you log on, it'll say, stream starting soon. And Kyle Petch got down the track on Saturday night. It was good to him. Kyle has been so instrumental in outlawpulling.tv as well. So,
yeah, he's a freaking techno genius guru wizard. He does stuff that I can like bullshit my way through something and like pretend I know him. But like Kyle comes up and he's touching buttons and doing things. And I'm just like, I just hand him my equipment. I'm like, hey man, do your magic. I don't know. And don't know if I want to know. It makes sense he would be a turbine driver, because he's got all that like super guru smarts in him.
But this is Saturday night down in Whitewright, so it was good it was just a lot of fun. It was good to see everybody. This is my second Outlaw Pull this year. I'll be in Onaway and in Concord and then Rock Valley next week. And then so excited about Rock Valley, Mike, what they're doing with the free admission. I just hope, I can't imagine. I hope people pour out and I hope they just donate like crazy.
So I will say this, and it's not apples to apples, but as a teacher, I was in charge of the 8th grade fundraiser every single year. And we would sell hamburgers across from the church. And we sold them $5 a burger for whatever. And you made what you made. And then one year I said, you know what? Screw this. Like, we're going to go to free will donation.
Yep.
We made so much more money. So much. Like, it's people don't like to pay for service. People don't like to pay. Like, paying sucks. But people love to donate to something they believe in. Like, so just that in and of itself, like, you're going to see, I promise you will see you'll have some people who'll be like, oh, cool, free pool, and walk right in, but you're going to see a lot of people who are going to be grabbing the big bills when they come in as well. That's my opinion anyway.
So I got the sound on, so let's listen to Kyle Petch here, if you don't mind, Michael.
Kyle trying to pull back on the throttle.
I think this must be Friday night because he had a better run on Saturday night.
Yeah, so. Friday he fought the bounce. He had some balance issues going on.
It's a little bit to get it back up. Having a bouncing issue with that tractor right now. A lot of wheel speed. We had a lot of bounce there as well. Over on the east track, the Mother Goose. This is an exhibition pass.
So you can hear Ron talk, but this is an exhibition cast. This is Edwin Anderson. He has the Texian 2-wheel drive truck as well, Michael. And this has got a big blower motor in it. It's pretty cool. So to see this whole 4-wheel drive truck.
Give Kyle Petch a round of applause for his second time out. Edwin Anderson going to take the Mother Goose for a ride here in a moment. This is an exhibition pass. This has a supercharged, roots blown big block Chevrolet, burns alcohol for fuel. Give Paul Tyus the hammer time. A round of applause. That's your winner, your pro stock class. And it's the only class that allows a supercharger in it.
That's what's great about the replay, Mike. You just push it ahead a little bit.
Edwin Anderson, Mother Goose.
So, Mike, let's watch the class together. Let's watch the class together before we go to bed. What do you want from session 1 or session 2? You want mods?
Yeah. Dave, go to session 1. Go to session 1 modifieds. I thought Donald Nelson's pass was as close to picture perfect. I just rewatched this because you can go back and watch it. I rewatched session 1 yesterday. I'm halfway through session 2 today. I thought Donald Nelson's pass Friday night was as close to perfection as you're going to see out of a pulling vehicle.
Yeah, Longnecker was first hook, so we'll watch it.
Dude, I swear to goodness, he gets the number 1 draw more than anyone I know. I feel like Wayne Longnecker is always hooking number 1.
we should have full pull picks like on who will draw number 1.
Yeah.
Like the coin toss at the Super Bowl. So here we go, fans. This is courtesy outlawpulling.tv, and we're going to show you Friday night mods. Then we're going to go to bed. But great show tonight with Jim Shandor from Dorr, Michigan. The Rock Valley team, July 12th and 13th. Of course, Dave Schultz from Bowling Green. So here we go.
Former point champ in the class, Wayne Longnecker of Cambridge, Iowa. Twin Chrysler Hemi. Sitting out front, you're looking at about 6,000 horsepower on alcohol.
That was a good pass for a tractor who's been right there over the past couple of years. I picked him. I wrote an article preseason, and I said I think he's going to have a renaissance season. I think we're going to see him be right up in the hunt for things this year.
Yeah, I'll turn the sound back on. You can talk when the puller. I just want to show the Outlaw mod class. If you bought the live stream or bought the show, you can watch all of the Texas classes as well. So they had 6 or 7 classes down there. So it was good stuff.
But they put on a good show. I thought the classes they offered were a really nice, well-ran show. I really like this pro stock or pro street 4-wheel drive truck class. But of course, 4-wheel drive truck classes are just awesome, right, Jason Schultz?
I know how much you love 4-wheel drive trucks. My internet's lagging. Give me a second. I'm on my Wi-Fi. I forgot to hardwire in tonight.
That's that Wisconsin dial-up.
Yeah. All right. Because I had Kyle pitches run, right?
Mm-hmm.
For Jason McShann and Maximum Overdrive. High stakes. Coming up, Chevrolet with a cock shut rear end. With 294.
The other thing I would say about outlawpulling.tv, if you feel that you are an aspiring announcer, get outlawpulling.tv and just listen to Mr. Ron Stone talk. I mean, for real, you will learn so much. Just that's one of the things I tried to do in the off season, and you'll pick up on 1,000 things that you can do.
Where was Bullwhip in the class? Was he early hook or late hook? Do you remember? That's high stakes. This is the
the Twisted Whip. He was a walk-off win on Saturday night. I don't remember where he pulled on Friday night.
His Omers.
The track was not favorable for them this weekend. They didn't have the finishing spot they wanted either night. Neither of their hooks. They didn't really do much wrong. The mods just ran tough this weekend. There's a lot of tough outlaw mods.
And this is Saturday night, or this is Friday night?
This is Friday night, yeah.
Friday night.
Wayne Sullivan was your final hook. He was the one that I think a lot of people wanted to see.
Yeah, this is Friday night. Yep.
Yeah.
Because Wayne was first hook on Saturday night. So.
Yeah. Yeah. He bookended his weekend. He was final hook Friday. He was first hook on Saturday. But it was interesting. The finishing order was the top three finishing order was the exact same in both nights. It went Donald Cameron and Wayne Sullivan both nights. So, very, very true results. I'd like to know what happened to Cotton Candy. I texted Cameron Neves and he didn't get back to me. I'm assuming he had a locked up planetary, but I don't know for a fact.
Mike, when I turn the volume on, you can hear the tractors, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so make sure I did it right through the live stream.
Yep. Now we have volume.
Okay, good. Making sure. Thank you, buddy.
Yep. No, I'm just commenting over top of them because talking is fun.
Larchwood, Iowa, Sweet Bay.
Ron always talks about, and for you fans who are still watching, we'll just continue giving some assessments on this class. Ron always talks about how this is the hardest running 3 Chevy modified in the country. And no doubt about it, he is completely correct. But the other thing that's super unique about this tractor, not only is it 3 Chevys, but it's about the only tractor I can think of that's still running the triple stacked, the old school. This is how like the dirt slinger used to look back in the 80s and 90s where they're running independent clutches. Now anybody who's got 3 engines has 2 out front and 1 right behind it. These guys are the only ones that I know that still run this. Maybe some of the California guys, Jason, they have some more, like when you're out there, do you see them running that? But
I've seen more of the 4 like we're used to seeing up here. Yeah, you don't see many of the stair steps anymore.
No, this is about the only one. And it's interesting that something that would seem like it's been, almost an obsolete setup. And yet they weren't points champions last year, but they were points champions like 4 years in a row, the years before that. So whatever they do each year, they do something to make that thing balance and work perfectly.
This is one of the Texas truck and tractor pulling vehicles. It's neat to work with them. I hope we can continue to work with them on events. I know we're going to do De Texas together. I think they have some classes. I think Lufkin's all outlaw, Mike, but I have to go double check.
De Leon. I see what you're saying. De Leon's going to be at co-sanction with TTPA.
I think so, but I'd have to double check. I don't want to talk out of turn there. Playing some.
I watched Lufkin last year, and I don't remember there being anything other than outlaw vehicles there. Now Cameron was on his A game this weekend, not like I've been raving about Donald Nelson, but not to take anything away from my buddy Cameron either, because this thing can sing. I mean, this mod right here can freaking sing, and I'm a huge fan of these guys, and his runs were right there. I mean, right there both nights. So making the home state proud.
Next tractor, 7,400-pound modified class. This is Cameron Neves. Comes out of McAdoo, Texas. Cameron's a cot starter. Twin, Ken Vaney, Hemis, about 3,200 horsepower apiece. You look at about 6,400 horsepower. 315.55.
Yeah, and so you'll see Donald do the same thing. The big difference, I would say, that you can see between the Ulmer run and Neves' run right there, and I'm just a passing fan and casual announcer. I've never driven one of these, but it looks like you had to get on the throttle very hard, very early at this track. That felt like he was into that throttle immediately out of the hole. And it almost felt like, looking back this second or third time I've seen it, that Omer maybe waited about 75 feet before the butterflies were totally open. And the front end came way up too. And you'll see Donald's tractor. Donald's not afraid to put weight on the rear end. He's one of the few who still have a lot of weight in the back. And Donald really brought his front end pretty high. And Cameron had a similar pass right here. You were there. What did you see when you were there, Jason?
I was so busy running the pull that I didn't watch the pull. I mean, I know that sounds funny.
No, Kinsey and I were talking about this. So like when I'm when you announcing is the best. If you're a fan, be an announcer. Cause like that's the best and most fun way to watch a pull. You stand up there in the crow's nest and like you analyze every run. But like when I'm running the camera, like if you come up to me and you're like, hey, who won that class? And I'm like, what class are we even on? You know, like you're not even.
So that's a Texas Truck and Tractor Pulling Hot Farm class. That's their 466 class, I believe. They run good.
You know who else has hot farms? And I'm getting to where I really like hot farms. They have hot farms at Diesel's and Dark Corners. Yep. And Hot Farms put on is that what your 12, were you a Hot Farm guy? Is that what the original? Dude, they're growing on me. Tell us about that class.
Well, it's a 466 cubic inch 3x3 turbo. They're making 1400 horse. You know, like, so this has a 24-inch tire on the back, Badger State, Tri-State, what I pulled with.
Yeah.
We had to run a 20.8, a little taller tire.
Yeah.
But they're a lot of fun. It's a great way to get into the sport and have a lot of fun. It's an NTPA region class. So Outlaws, it's a light limited pro class. That
I was going to say, how is that what you're describing? How is that any different than an LLP?
Just different than different tire sizes. All
okay.
So we're showing the replays here. You know, we got our leader up there, so it's fun to go through and watch all this. And
I don't think Don beat him by more than a foot or so. I mean, they're here. I got the results right here on the app. Yeah. So Cameron
here's the leaderboard up so far through the class.
Yeah. Yeah, listen to this. So Cameron went 330.68 and Don went 331.32. So less than a foot. So if you were betting on just the one winner, those two Texas boys were really made it interesting on your Friday night.
Yes, they did. No, that's what makes it fun. This Popeye, one of the Texas Hot Farms.
But the Hot Farms running the 24.5 tires on the back, they would literally be identical to our light limited pros, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to say identical, but it's pretty similar, Mike. I mean, I'm sure there's some little rule here or there.
Yeah.
So for the Texas guys, we didn't have them all like built into our software. But this is what you've been wanting to see, so I'm going to shut up.
Yeah, this just watch how quick he gets into the throttle. Watch how quick he brings the front end up. And this, to me, this is just a perfect run. He didn't bring it up as high as I remember Saturday night. He brought it up higher, but still the speed, the ground speed that he had right there, just smooth as glass, you know.
Yeah, Cameron really got it up Saturday night too. So Donald was your winner. He swept the weekend, right? If I remember.
Yep. So he got first, Cameron got second, and Wayne Sullivan got third, and that was the same for Friday and Saturday. The exact same results for the top three on both nights, which is why I think old Wayne Sullivan we have not seen the last of him in the Outlaws. I think
they posted on their Facebook page. They had a good time and they want to come back.
So I saw that. And I tread lightly when I say that, because I don't ever want the message to be that, you know, I'm not perfectly satisfied with I love our Outlaw family, you know, but anytime that we can play host and have more people come and hang out with us, you know, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. If you guys are watching, Mike and I are just kind of doing some replays from Outlaw Pulling TV this weekend. Let us know a specific hook or a class that you want to do. We're going to go for a few more minutes, and I'm going to go to bed because I'm super tired, Michael. So our leaderboard, you know, we played with some fancy graphics on it, Mike, but we decided just to go with this simple black background with the red across the top, just so you can read it, because this is also what's going up on the big board, the big screen at the polls. So what you see at home, fans, when you're watching the live stream is the same thing that the fans are seeing at the poll too. So it's kind of neat to do that. So
and when it goes up on the leaderboard, and this is where Ron and I are just up there talking and yakking and having great conversation, and Jason's
I'm yelling at you.
He's saying, "Read the leaderboard."
No, you go to the poll to see who's in the lead. I mean, at the end of the day,
and we're telling stories about ice cream.
Oh, I just want to kill you guys some nights. It's a damn big screen. It's gigantic. You can't miss it. So I'll tell Kenzie like this. You leave it up for 30 seconds till those knuckleheads see it. So. But we got a lot of it was so fun, Mike, down there just to see that many fans. It's an hour from it was 60. I grabbed an Uber out of Dallas and it was like 63 miles up there. And my Uber driver goes, "So we're going to the country?" I go, "Yes, we are." So that was kind of fun.
Is that an expense? Like, I've never taken an Uber more than like 4 blocks. I mean,
it was $70, but it's cheaper than renting.
That's not bad. That's not as bad as I thought you were going to say.
So what happened here? The Kentuckian ran the exact same time as that other tractor. So we were already set up. That other guy stayed on the track too long, so we didn't get the full run of the Kentuckian. So Donnie Sullivan gave me a lot of crap. So,
I received some grumpy. Maybe grumpy is the nicest word I'll use on a podcast. I received some grumpy messages about that.
Yeah. Well, like we told the sled operators, don't send anything at the same time. So Wayne was pulling on the track. The other guy was hooked up on the Texas track. So we had our starting line camera going, and Mackenzie was working on something like switch. And then we tried swinging them around and we missed it. And then Donnie gave me a lot of crap. So let's go to Saturday night here. Let's go to mods and we'll show. He was the first truck of the night here. Again, we're showing just some stuff from Outlaw Pulling TV. So we still got a bunch of you watching. So let us know what you want to see, what you want to watch here for a few more minutes.
His past Saturday night, I mean, it was just absolute glass too. Just smooth and just everything done right.
What we do, fans, so immediately once the poll is over, we go and then we publish it to all of our subscribers. So they can go back and watch the replay. We did forget to click one button Saturday night, so Sunday didn't get up until this morning. But or Saturday didn't get up till this morning.
Yeah, because I was barking at Kenzie this morning because I was trying to watch it to write my article, and she says we're on it.
Yep. So it was so hot down there. Oh my God, it was hot. Wayne was first hook.
I've never been to Texas, and I've always wanted to, but now you're scaring me off a little bit.
Oh, it's just hot. I know I'm not trying to scare you, but it's warm, buddy.
It gets hot in Missouri. You're from way up north.
You're fat too. So
you're too hard on yourself.
No, I'm fat. That's okay.
I had a waiter one time. He says that's an experience meter. That's all that is. You're just
okay. Well, I have a lot of experience then. Is what I'm saying.
Now that class is going to happen on the west track. On the east track, we have the Texas Truck and Tractor Pulling.
Ron's got such an amazing voice. The voice of the Outlaws, Mr. Stone. He's awesome. Good stuff.
Gasoline-powered tractors, carbureted, small Oklahoma, small as well. You need Texas Truck and Tractor Pulling power.
There's the boss.
Yeah. What do they call these?
Hot Rod V8s.
Okay, it's not Econo Mods because Econo Mods are later, and then the Pro Mods were after
these Hot Rod V8s. Yep. They put on a good little show.
Yeah, they really do. I like the tall skinnies. You don't see enough classes with the tall skinnies. Those are fun tires.
That's what I was talking about earlier. That's an 18
with your hot arms.
That's either an 18.4 or a 20.8 tire that's on there. So got a big crowd watching on Beer Money still. Big crowd watching on Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling and on YouTube. So thanks for staying with us late here. We're at the 2.5 hour mark. So
quick announcement for Outlawed Live tomorrow night. It'll be a joint show. I'm gonna be hosting that one solo tomorrow night. So we're gonna do green flags and tight chains, a joint show into Outlawed Live tomorrow night. So we'll do Outlawed Live, and then instead of changing platforms and saying goodbye, I'm just gonna roll one right into the other. So if you're watching Outlawed Live tomorrow night, we're gonna do green flags and tight chains just right afterwards. Here's Papa Wayne.
For many, many years, I saw the Kentuckian pull back in southern Ohio, back when I was about 12 years old. Bruce Fuller normally pulls in the 6,200-pound class.
Drove it hard out of the hole and then kind of settled in at about the 80-foot mark and found the balance. But, you know, Ron started to talk about something there, and I've wondered this too. In NTPA, these guys run at 6,200 pounds, and we're here in Outlaw, we let them run at 7,400. Like, that's 1,200 pounds of movable weight we would allow you to gain. It surprises me that we don't see more jumping over because of that. Like, weight is good. You know, people want to put weight on these vehicles. It's hard to lose weight. I think it's easy to gain weight. I don't know. If I had a light unlimited, I would be coming and playing with the Outlaws all the time.
Well, I know there's some more coming, you know, and that's what's fun about it. So,
well, there's some coming from way out west.
Yep.
That's I want to see that one in person. That thing's gangster.
I'm working on him to get to Lufkin for sure. So.
Do you like my comment to Ryan Massetti?
I thought about getting him on tonight. It's only 8:30 out there, you know. So
right. That's how I always know. Anytime we've got a California puller, that's when I tell my wife, I said, this might be a 3-hour show because Jason's going to get on with his best friends and we're going to go till 11 o'clock with the West Coast guys.
Yeah, it was a good night. So I'm going to wrap this baby up. I'm going to go to bed. So Jim Shandorf, congratulations. Dorr, Michigan's looking awesome this weekend. We'll put that graphic back up there real quick for everybody to see that. Saturday, July 6th. Friday, July 5th is Greenwich, Ohio, OSTPA. They were going to come on the show tonight, but they just ran out of time. We brought the Rock Valley gang on. Talk about their amazing pool. Free admission at the gate. Donation only. Don't be a tight ass. Okay.
This is what was it you said? What was it you said that got you? You got you in trouble when you were announcing at like a Goshen or wherever you were announcing.
I called somebody a cheap prick.
Yeah, I said don't be
because we were doing some auction stuff for charity, and these guys were drinking, and they were talking shit, and I just called them cheap pricks on the microphone. And then somebody ripped on me on pull off, and then like 40 more people did. So here's the Rock Valley commercial.
Get ready for Thunder in the Valley in Rock Valley, Iowa. Experience the live action on Friday, July 12th and Saturday, July 13th with 3 powerful sessions. Friday session starts at 6:30 with 2 sessions on Saturday at noon and 6 p.m. Visit rockvalleypool.com and get ready for the roar of thunder in the valley.
So that's July 12th and 3rd, obviously. And they, you know, these are some of the pictures they shared with us, Mike and I, earlier. It's hard to go from being funny to showing stuff like this, but this is their town. I was there this afternoon. All the water's gone. This is last weekend, but the damage is what's, you know, incredible afterwards. So, I mean, can you imagine that being your house? It would be the worst feeling in the world.
It's one of those. It's hard to picture until you've experienced or seen it. It really is. You know, my heart goes out to him because it's so, the magnitude of it's so great. I can't imagine what that would be like. You know, you said you were speechless, and I'm much the same. I just pray for them, and you know, you keep your fingers crossed.
Yep. And here's the poll for Greenwich. We're promoting this poll for them for OSTPA, July 5th, 7 p.m. Greenwich, Ohio. Looks like they got mods, 4-wheel drive trucks, pro stocks, and super stock diesel trucks. See on that post there. So good luck to them this weekend. And then we talked about Bowling Green coming up. They have a calendar on the Full Time website. So,
I've heard of that poll.
You heard of that poll?
Yeah, so, I've heard of that one.
Well, Mike, I'm going to play our finish video. Thank you to everybody watching tonight. Happy 4th of July. We live in the greatest country in the world. It's Happy Canada Day as well. Head over to fullpollpicks.com. Check out the leaderboards, and I don't know. I think our next ones will probably be Rock Valley. I don't know if Chase has got anything going on this weekend or not. We'll have to find out. So, but it's fun. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you.
Let's make some noise. Good running. John Deere, Animal Deep Iowa coming up. We got one right behind you.